This program brought to you by Harvey Norman. There's a store near you. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. And Jim Beam, the bourbon.
I actually thought we were behind. So when someone said to me, it's a draw, someone thought in the box we were in front, and I thought we were behind.
Confused?
What is the matter with our players?
And the drama didn't end there.
Well, the Sydney Swans have been fined a total of $50,000 by the AFL tonight for fielding an extra player in their drawn match against North Melbourne on Sunday.
Meanwhile, the Crows burst the Blues bubble.
The dominant pickup. The afterburners are on.
Great chase.
As their evergreen veterans continue to soar.
Burton, he can do it all the time.
He has been the difference.
Four for the Birdman. McLeod, the magic man. Yes, that's brilliant.
Well, this is the 1998 Premiership team motorcade. It's been 10 years since the Crows tasted Premiership glory, and it just happened to be at the expense of the Kangaroos. 3 players involved tonight played in that Premiership side: Andrew McLeod, Simon Goodwin, and also Tyson Edwards. As a matter of fact, 3 Kangaroos players that are playing tonight also played in that match: Brent Harvey, Adam Simpson, and also Shannon Grant. They're coming off that controversial draw with the Swans last week. The Kangaroos, they are a very disciplined side in 2008. They've won the free kick count in all of their matches. They've conceded the second lowest number of free kicks in the competition, and they certainly won't want to be giving any charity to the home side tonight. This shapes as an absolute beauty. Good evening and welcome to Saturday Night Football from Amy Stadium. I'm Jason Dussel, joined by Premiership hero from the West Coast Eagles, Glenn Jakovich. Jacko, 4th against 6th. A lot to like about this matchup tonight, isn't there?
Good evening, Jason. Great to be here, Amy Stadium. Perfect conditions, no excuses. And as you mentioned, 2 very well-drilled sides that are very disciplined, and it's going to be a tough in and under game. I'm looking forward to it.
Here are the Adelaide Crows. They've won the contested possession count in every game this season, and they won the inside 50 count in each of their last 5 games against the Kangaroos. In fact, they've touched up the Kangaroos the last 6 times or so that they've actually played. The one problem they're having this week is they have been the worst set shot team over the last 4 weeks. Let's have a look at the lineups, Jacko.
And looking forward to Nathan Thompson on one of the Premier fullbacks in Bassett. He doesn't get a lot of accolades, but does his job. John Cox run, the Kangas will certainly have to look at stopping him, but Andrew McLeod and Nathan Bott, all Australian form for me at the minute.
A little bit more pressure on the Adelaide backline tonight with no Ben Rutten. Miss Reliable, unfortunately, is out injured. Robert Shirley, he'll get a big job. Brent Harvey, perhaps one that he will be assigned to, and Lee Harding starting to play further afield for the Kangaroos.
Certainly is, and Scotty Thompson in the forward line with Edwards, as you mentioned, just continues to defy the odds of his age, but good performer. Rawlings, as you mentioned before, get the big job, but the big Birdman, he's the one down forward, well aided by Simon Goodwin, who's changed his game from a midfielder now going and being a goal kicker.
2 first gamers in action tonight. James Seller, named in a forward pocket there for the Crows, makes his debut, and for the Kangaroos, Josh Smith also is playing his first game. So players just going through their final preparations. Jason Porplegia, he's a handy player to have coming off the bench. He is a ripper. Nathan Van Berlo, another one that can do a run with job for the Crows.
Yeah, certainly is, and as we see, Harrison, Power, Campbell, and Young Wells, obviously a little bit inconsistent of recent times. His work rate is something we'll be monitoring very closely tonight, Jason.
The role of Brett Burton's changed in recent years, Jacko. We saw him for so many years running right up around the wing and then pushing forward, but he spends a lot more time now as a go-to forward.
Well, he's just a premier forward because of his unpredictability, Jason. He can jump, he can run, and when you need someone to stand up and kick a goal, he does it.
most sides these days will assign a defensive half forward to play a stopping role on Andrew McLeod because he springboards a lot of their attack.
Well, he's in their luxury, group like Harvey, where he'll shake the tag over a period of time. So what you got to do, you've got to get Rawlings in a tough position, in a good position, and find him and make Andy McLeod very accountable.
What about this man here, Brent Harvey? He is going to be one of the key players tonight for the Kangaroos. We had the opportunity to catch up with him a short time ago, and he certainly wasn't underestimating the enormity of the challenge tonight against the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, they have, especially coming over here. It's a pretty big challenge in footy. It's like going to Perth, and look, we've got to put our best foot forward tonight if we're going to beat the Crows, because they're a pretty good team. Yeah, normally get Robert Shirley. He normally goes pretty well, so he's got a good endurance, pretty quick, and I think he'll be my likely matchup.
Well, Jacko, that's the man he expects to get, Robert Shirley. He's used to it. He knows he's coming.
Well, he's used to it, and Brent Harvey's a super player. But the great thing about the Crows, Jason, is they support each other. If there's a big job, if you're playing on a super player, the work rate they share amongst themselves is the reason why they're such a good side and in the 8 at the minute.
And Michael Dowdy's another one that's been doing some important roles for the Adelaide Crows. Well, he is definitely not just another pretty face in the crowd, but he is in amongst it tonight. Our very own Lee Colbert. Welcome to you, Colby.
Thanks, Jason. As a Crows fan, the excitement starts here. You grab your record, you grab your thermos, your hat, and for the next 2 hours, you absolutely give it to the opposition. Well, tonight, it's North Melbourne's turn. Dwayne Russell, one of the best in the business, will call all the action right after the break.
Soccer off the ground might come off. Yes, it has. Massive. Again, Adelaide with numbers around him. Jones off the ground. And he's kicked a goal. Screws it around the corner, it's a goal.
Welcome back to Amy Stadium. The two captains for tonight's game, Simon Goodwin and Adam Simpson, two of the genuine superstars of the competition. Fine night here in Adelaide, and Simon Goodwin wins the toss. The Adelaide Crows will kick left of screen in the opening term. Beautiful conditions here for 4th versus 6th on the AFL ladder. Adelaide half a game ahead of North Melbourne. Lee Colbert's down on the boundary line. Welcome back to you, Lee.
Thanks, Dwayne. Yes, Andrew McLeod's the big news in the warm-up. Did one run through for the whole warm-up, which is very unusual for him. He's a star player. He is starting on the ground, so just keep an eye on him, boys, because I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Thanks, Colby. There is Andrew McLeod on screen. He's the All-Stars captain for next week. They've already got question marks over a couple of players for next week. Jonathan Brown might not play. Gary Ablett Jr. might not play. Tell you who will play tonight, and that is Josh Smith. His first game for North Melbourne. He's a great story as well. Virtually gave up footy a couple of years ago in 2006. Had a whole year off, mainly due to a family tragedy. Just went and played footy with his mates and then went back to the Waffle, and all of a sudden he's in the big time playing his first game, as is James Seller playing his first game for the Adelaide Crows tonight, although James Seller did play in the NAB Cup. In fact, he made his debut in Dubai against Collingwood and kicked 3 goals, played a couple of games in the NAB Cup with James Seller. About to get underway, good crowd in here, almost a full house at Amy Stadium for these two top 8 sides, and it's Brady Rawlings with the clearance to open. Rolls it towards half forward. Jones overran it. Harvey had it, lost it. Back to Jones, who start hasn't been good. Lee Brown dumped. Hot start, as you'd expect between these two teams. Will get a ball up to sort it out.
Dwayne, we just came off the ground and up to the commentary box, and it is pretty slippery out there, and we've seen the first 3 or 4 possessions the players turn it over, so get in and under and clean hands is vitally important.
Well, diving in again.
Ed Lower, the man with a job on Andrew McLeod. He's going to try and certainly do a shutdown role on him. And Graham Johncock picking up the dangerous Corey Jones.
The ball up. Hale got a fingernail on it. Rawlings slung Griffin the possession. Bouncing ball. Goodwin on Watt at the moment. A little bit of a mismatch, but Watt wins this one. Petrie wide. Ferrito can't get there, and it's out of play on the full. Burton's free. Quickly to Knights. And a terrible pass to Massey. Missed him completely. Hale missed it. Massey dives in, no free. Bock tries to mop up the mess, unsuccessful. And the umpire will pick a free kick out of this. He was winding up Justin Schmidt, and he was ready to play it. He gave the player plenty of time, and free kick to Shannon Grant. Umpires tonight, Justin Schmidt, the controversial Ray Chamberlain, and Scott Jeffrey in control tonight. Hamish McIntosh. It's been all North Melbourne so far. Shortish pass, Nathan Thompson. It was cut off, good fist. McLeod got it from Shirley, gave it to Knights, hands it back to Doughty.
Tell you what, that effort from Bernie Vince was fantastic. He got Polax cutting off the lead from Nathan Thompson. He took one for the team.
But Jason, you're right there, but it's great that for the Kangaroos, you got Nathan Thompson on the fly, just flat out, and the Adelaide defenders will be wondering next time whether to fill the hole.
Oh, they'll do it, especially after that. That was a magnificent performance. From the ball in, Hale. Hits the deck again. Lindsay Thomas dives in. And again, the umpire will sort it out.
Well, Dwayne, we knew someone was going to draw the short straw for the Adelaide Crows, and it's Tyson Edwards. Brady Rawlings has gone to him, and that's going to make a tough night for Tyson Edwards.
And the ball up, Hale slaps it down in Burton's direction. Harvey is with him, and we'll get another ball in. There is Tyson Edwards, who passes Mark Bickley tonight to become Adelaide's 5th highest game player of all time. Tyson Edwards, he is Adelaide royalty now. Only good ones ahead of him, and here he is. He has a little fumble, and a free kick will go to the Adelaide Crows. Shirley takes it, free kick off the ball. That was 4. Short to Bock, another fumble, untidy kick, put him under pressure. Toe poke back to Shirley. They get out of it, short pass. Doughty. Chip kick, Massey. Still haven't been in their forward half yet, Adelaide. Chip kick again, Knights. Wide ball, Burton. Using the lead-up player to maintain possession at the moment, Adelaide. And Brett Burton, who turns 30 years of age tomorrow, chips the pass wide, and Jonathan Griffin makes the ground. And about to thump this inside 50 for the first time for Adelaide. High bomb. James Seller is down there, outreached by Tippett. Good hands.
It is a great contested mark from Kurt Tippett, and you'll just see a little bit of body work. He uses the front of his body, his chest, just to push his opponent underneath the footy. He doesn't use the hands in the middle of the bat. You can just see he bumps into him there, uses a little bit of the right elbow to work Petrie under the ball, and judges a very good mark.
Looking forward to that contest tonight, Jason. Petrie on Tippett. Petrie had his one of his best games for the club last week. For the second time, they got more than 20 possessions as a key defender, but as an attacking player as well. So have to pay good respect to this young kid, because he certainly can take a good overhead mark.
He's kicked 7 goals, 5 this year. Make that 7 goals, 6.
Really stabbed at that one.
You would expect he'd be high on the Gold Coast's shopping list, though, when they assembled their list for their new team. Southport Premiership player from the Gold Coast, Kurt Tippett. And he is really shaping as a long-term prospect. Hand to lower. He dropped it, dumped. Goodwin around the body. How will it bounce? Getting back, touching it is Ferrito. Got back just in time.
Well, they talk about this play on at all costs, and Drew Petrie handballed that ball to a player that was nested by 3 Adelaide Crows players, and probably just a criticism of the AFL these days is players playing their direct teammate on into trouble.
Pratt's turned it over from the kick in. Mark's not paid. Umpire calls play on. He'll ball it up.
Scott Thompson thinks he took it.
Gee. Well, there's 2 Scott Thompsons out there, and they're virtually playing on each other at the moment, so... The Adelaide Scott Thompson that wanted it. Was that a mark, Jason?
Good decision by the umpire. Okay. Very good decision.
Rawlings. Burton let it go through his hands. Strangely enough. Thomas. Now what? Nathan Thompson. Hands are good. Too far out to score. Sees the lead from Corey Jones. Puts it in front. And he takes the mark, 45 from goal.
Good discipline play there by the Kangas. But Nathan Thompson took a good contested mark. But you could see Adelaide players rushing back in. But important that the full forward, in this case, Corey Jones, doesn't lead too early and he keeps that space open while Nathan readjusted and got back. Well-weighted kick. Good play. Good run from the half-back line by White with pace into the forward line. Catches your direct opponent or the defenders on the back foot.
2 goals last week, Corey Jones. 15 goals, 11 for the season. It's a swinging ball. Only a behind.
He's been the go-to forward for the Kangaroos this year, Corey Jones, been in excellent form.
Stevens from the kick in. Simpson almost cut it off. Campbell through traffic. Thumps it around the body towards full forward. Corey Jones down there, Nathan Thompson. He gathered the crumb, was caught, shuffled it out. Massey, Johncock. Wobbles the ball outside 50. Douglas, it was a tough one to mark. Pratt might see it across the line. He does, and he's assisted over the line himself. Nothing much in it, the umpire told him. Not sure if you heard that in our effects, Mike. Let's have a look at the nothing much. There's the nothing much. From the ball in. Good dumping tackle by Simpson.
Great matchup for the Kangaroos. Brett Burton's a very difficult man to match up on. He has a great tank. He can take the high mark. Michael Ferrito is a terrific player. Strong of body, good pace, and has the tank of a midfielder as well.
Scott Thompson to the wing. Douglas and Pratt. They go at it again. Pratt thumped it out, but in McLeod's direction. Kicks it inside 50 towards Burton. Ferrito with him. Just bumped him on the leap. Petrie didn't want to rush her behind. Keeps it alive. Harding, former winner of the North Melbourne goal kicking back in 2003, now playing in defence and doing quite well as a defender after a year off with that knee injury. This is the other Scott Thompson.
Robert Shirley 4 possessions and 3 of them contested.
McKay cuts it off, turnover. Scott Thompson again. Douglas thumps it wide. Burton can't get there to attempt the mark. Gathers, tucked into the boundary line and can't kick the miracle goal. We are seeing more and more of those kicked with each passing round.
Although I don't know how happy the coach is when you go for those. You're probably better off kicking to a contest. He had a tall and Tippett pushing into the corridor that you may as well sit it up 20 metres out directly in front of goal.
Pratt straight down the middle. Almost but not quite. Simpson gathers the crumb, gets it up. Watt, Campbell through traffic nicely. Sends the kick in the Lee Brown direction. Got hands on it, blocked the fist. Johncock to his own advantage. Corey Jones is with him, and Johncock takes it out of play. Lee Colbert.
After last week, boys, more attention on the interchange, and that's Jenny Lufton, the assistant steward for the Kangaroos.
Good work, Colby. Adam Simpson coming off for arrest. And the ball in. Griffin and McIntosh. Johncock. Knights. Backtracks. Johncock just pokes it towards the wing. Burton kept it alive. Scott Thompson left it behind. Daniel Wells. McIntosh. Had a good opening 5 or so minutes, the Kangaroos, but haven't really seen it translated onto the scoreboard. Low trajectory kick, Shirley. Gets a possession on Harvey. Douglas. Knights. No one to go too long. No one inside 50 for the Crows. So he does a 360 and waits. Now Tippett's in there. Heads under it by Petrie. Strong grab.
That's something else we see these days too, Dwayne. So many players push up the ground. When you do get the quick kick through the corridor going forward, the player looks up. He has no one to kick to, so he has to hang on to it.
Maybe he should kick to the forward pocket a few times and let it roll out. This is the first gamer, Josh Smith. Short and first kick, not his best kick, you wouldn't think. Edwards, Knights, McKay. Had a couple of options. Tippett. He wasn't paid the mark.
Gee.
Edwards. But it'll be okay, although Scott Thompson's handball knocked by Harris. Thompson back in, dishes it up. Smith makes amends with this kick. Petrie, Campbell takes off with speed, sends it long, full forward, getting back. Shannon Grant just needs to complete it, doesn't.
Well, good build-up by the Kangas. I mean, they're weathering a bit of the storm from the Crows, who are mounting their attack from the half-back line by pushing numbers. But was this a mark, Jason? It was either a mark or he was infringed on, so a little bit unlucky there. But young Matty Campbell is certainly causing a few problems for the Crows off this half-forward line.
Doughty. Long ball in the Port Felicia direction. A couple of Brownlow votes, 2 Brownlow votes last time these two teams met. Jason Port Felicia heads wide towards Burton. Boundary line looming, keeps it in. Van Berlo, Seller, his first touch. Chip kick, Burton is good. They've worked this nicely. Bok.
Gee, Graham Johncock's pushed down into space. In fact, it's Jaron Jackie that's in space all on his own.
Burton to Jackie. Big fly, couldn't get high enough.
Just too small.
The little man should stay down, shouldn't he, Jacko?
Well, spoiled. Petrie took a good mark. Campbell. Gee, Pratt's handball dangerous. Power. Toe poke straight into the face of Bernie Vince. Rawlings. Hale was met head on. Rawlings. Now Wells sidesteps a couple. Spears the pass inside 50. Great grab, Grant. Good use of the body. And Shannon Grant will line up and, you would think, kick the first goal of the game.
This is at the other end. You've got the big man flying. The little bloke should stay down and try and crumb. He could have 3 goes off a step ladder there. He's not going to get over the top of Drew Petrie.
But good pace through the corridor, and the Kangaroos have shown tonight that they're going to run through the middle. Got forwards up there, Shannon Grant, and obviously big fellow Nathan Thompson. But it's just the good pace that they're using the ball through the middle. They need to put scoreboard pressure on this 5-minute spell they're enjoying, the Kangas.
Kicked 10 goals, 4 coming into this game for the season. Already a behind tonight. And that was never in doubt. Just the standard excellence from Shannon Grant.
It was very important that he kicked that goal. He has struggled in recent weeks, Shannon Grant. He had an opportunity early on, a little right foot snap that went begging. But this time he takes a great contested mark. Good to see Daniel Wells getting involved. He's a player that I'd love to see getting his hands on the footy a lot more. But a terrific contested mark against his opponent in Chris Massey, and then goes back and kicks truly.
Good coaching by Dean Laley here. He's out of form, like you mentioned, Shannon Grant. 6 possessions last week, but isolate him in the goal square. A little bit dewy, bit on the foot out there. Ball's going to come to ground, and he will be that opportunist, have a shot on goal.
Shannon Grant, who will play his 300th game later this year. Also in elite company. A genuine star for both North Melbourne and, of course, started his career, Shannon Grant, the Sydney Swans. 58 games there. Daniel Harris going nowhere. We'll get another ball up from Ray Chamberlain.
Just rearranging their defence, Adelaide, with Johncock going on to Campbell. It means Nathan Bassett has the job on Corey Jones.
Harris to Watt, sends it wide. Grant had a big piece of it, couldn't mark it.
Oh, I did it well.
Oh, he gets it back the 1-2, but Thompson's handball too slick for him, perhaps. Jones, he can't break free, takes it out. Get a ball in.
He'd be filthy, Shannon Grant there. He did all the hard work. He kept his feet, and then when he got the easiest handballs back, look at that, he just improvised a little bit, but he just dropped that as a skill error. He would eat that up 9 times out of 10.
Great handling from Nathan Thompson.
Van Berlo tried to slip it out. Campbell. Grant in the middle of it. And again, no one really getting it out. Umpire lets play go on for a while. Shuffled out in the end to Harris. He gets the snap away. Bouncing ball off hands. Graham Johncock behind an option if he wants to. And doesn't want to. Chips the kick. Worked well. Bok. He sends it along to Doughty. Half-back flank. More moves on the bench. Edwards comes off and Scott Thompson on for Adelaide. Chip kick wide and it's out of play. We'll get a ball in. There is
Adelaide just struggling.
Edwards.
Adelaide just struggling to get that free player forward of the centre when running out of the back line, and that's good marksmanship by the Kangaroos. They're playing good tight footy on their direct opponent.
And the ball in. Hale and Tippett tie up. Simpson thumps it to half forward. Bassett was down there. Bassett and Bok. No Rutten tonight. Their normal partner in crime. Doughty. Drew the player well. Thompson. Low kick. And he looks hurt, Paul Pleasure. He's still on the ground. In the meantime, Lower picks it up. Sends it in the Hamish McIntosh direction. Mismatch in size there. Jackie went for the fly again. This time Lee Brown. Paul Pleasure in the hands of trainers. And Lee Brown's kick also in the hands of trainers. Lee Colbert.
Just a quick one on Dean Latham. His greatest strength, he'll try and isolate Shannon Grant here tonight and actually try and put the sword to Chris Massey. Really make him work on Shannon Grant and keep Nathan Bock and John Cock as deep as they can.
Griffin to Doughty, all the way back to Graham Johncock.
Yeah, the only problem with that, so I've no problem with going backwards, but the other side of the ground was covered. There were Kangaroos players over there. They've been fortunate enough to find a loose player in the middle, but you've got to be careful going backwards. You need to have an open path going forward.
Thompson kicked it long. Paul Pleasure has it, but can't really get it out. Seller dives in. Burton steals it. It's the handball out. Tippett. Van Berlo kicks to full forward. Dangerous ball, almost a mark. Not paid. Watt tries to snap it through. Goodwin fights on and asks the question, was it a mark?
Well, we'll get the benefit of another look at it. They've had a couple of close ones. They've got it right thus far. He doesn't push him in the back. Does he control it? From this side, it looks good, but it looks like from this side, that's not a mark. Yeah, that's three really good decisions they've made, the umpires.
That's good, and it's good contested footy by both sides, going hard at it.
Petrie. The three in the best in the business tonight here, Chamberlain, Jeffrey and Schmidt. And they've umpired well so far, although umpire Chamberlain's had a tough week given his time-wasting decision last week. Petrie slips it to Power. Short Thompson. Of the Nathan variety. Low trajectory, tough one to mark. Cutting it off. Harding steals, goals, brilliant.
Well, well done to the Kangaroos with their pace through the midfield and through the corridor. They got forwards leading in the ball carrier's vision. But Drew Petrie's enjoying a fantastic first quarter, 8 possessions. But he's had a couple of inside 50s from running off the half-back line. And, I mean, that was just good work by Lee Harding, cutting up from the front of the pack. And they've just got good forwards leading in the vision of the ball carrier at the minute, Jason.
He worked hard for that, Lee Harding. I mean, he ran about 60, 70 metres to get to that one. Terrific work.
First goal of the night for Lee Harding. Bernie Vince, his man. Ball up. He'll get the takeaway. Still in there. No one's had a decisive possession. Umpire wants them to get it out, but they don't obey. Ball up. 14 plays 4.
Well, they're strangling the Crows at the minute. They're at stoppages at the minute. The Crows can't get that one handball back to set up their play because of a very disciplined Kangaroo side.
Lee Brown just dropped it and got the free for being held. And that does happen a bit now. Sends it long and wide. Thomas was down there. Doughty got a fist on it. Secondary fist from Bassett to Knights. Caught. Kick away just in time. Griffin. Bouncing ball was tough. Toe poke McIntosh stolen by Van Berlo. Kicks it back again. No one home. Goodwin tried to trap it, but he had 3 against him. One of them Pratt. Now Rawlings. Inside 50. Getting there. Hale couldn't mark that one. Thomas couldn't trap it. Vince. Griffin. Almost a throw. Bock. Edwards. Bernie Vince. Rolling ball to half forward, but again, the Kangaroos have the numbers here. Little tap by Watt for the advantage of Harvey. Handball options, Lee Harding. Simpson. Harvey. Takes them on and wins. It's around Vince. Nathan Thompson. 70 from goal. Adelaide yet to register a goal, and we're about to tick into time on opening term. Nathan Thompson just bangs it long. And Griffin's hands went out. Held it just long enough.
Just enough.
And the crowd saying, well, if you paid that one a mark, what about the other 3? Bock, wide, Knights, Doughty. Now they're away. Open forward line ahead of them. Back to Knights. The old 1-2 worked nicely. Burton, the target, gets there. Still open the forward line. He wants to thump it long. Does. almost. It is the mark inside 50 to Tippett, and he gets another opportunity. Having a good night so far, although he hasn't let it translate on the scoreboard.
That's the kick the Crows need, as we see Tippett. He had to mark that, or either it was a big punch. But with the Kangaroos pushing numbers back and getting numbers back quickly, you've got to leave one side of the ground open for a forward to lead into. And that time, Kurt Tippett was very disciplined, waited, left that space open, but didn't have any Adelaide players leading into his space. Hence why he was able to take the chest mark.
Turns 21 this week. Kurt Tippett still eligible to win the NAB Rising Star Award. And he'd have to be a contender, yet to be nominated. He gets Adelaide's first.
Well, good goal, but as we say, Burton mentioned that before.
I think what impresses me here, Jacko, is Petrie had front position, but he brushes by him. He uses his strength to get past him. He is just single-minded about attacking the footy. Petrie is looking for a little bit of body contact. Drew Petrie also thought that he touched that ball off the boot. Yeah. That is very, very close. He was a little bit concerned afterwards that it wasn't recognised as touched off the boot.
8th goal of the season for Kurt Tippett.
Have a look at this, Dwayne, because he was very animated after the kick. Did he get a fingertip on it? Geez, very close, isn't it? Through the hands. Quite possibly touched off the boot, because the kick only travelled about 30 metres as well.
Should have marked it. Umpire throwing the ball in the air tonight. For some reason, Harvey, half grabbed, never had the footy. Brent Harvey. Lindsay Thomas. Held up, Lindsay Thomas. Daniel Wells, the two boys, South Australian boys, both from the same junior footy club, Mallee Park at Port Lincoln. Kick inside 50. Griffin, Stevens, John Cock, also Mallee Park boy, to McLeod. He sends it wide towards the wing. Boundary line, probably a win here for the Kangaroos, and they see it out of play.
Well done, young Scott Thompson there. He just came across the flight and just worked himself into the contest really hard. Dean Laidley will be very impressed from the young player at his commitment there.
That was Jaron Jackie on screen. Game number 2 for Jaron Jackie tonight. And this is Jonathan Griffin with the free to McLeod. Tough one to mark. Edwards almost got there. Now Tippett attacked it. Tackled, didn't really have it. Edwards, Goodwin, Burton, he can smell a goal. Spins around, he can still smell it. Thompson. And Thompson kicks a wobbler towards full forward to pick up off hands. Poor Pleasure around the body. It's the post.
Gee, I like him as a player.
He is.
He's one of the best balanced at ground level, Jay, and never loses his footing.
Yep, and the #1 player for the Adelaide Crows in hardball gets or contested possessions, but that pickup was just first class, considering it's a very dewy out there, Jason. So very good player, young Paul Pleasure.
Sacred Heart College boy, and they have produced many a grand footballer, Sacred Heart, here in South Australia. The Corns brothers, just two more that come to mind. McKay sends it long, almost Tippett. Oh, he roved his own work.
Missed it.
And he missed the goal.
Gee, I like him, Jason, because he not only competes in the air, but he gets to his feet pretty quickly. Looked at the line of the ball here and stayed with it. Just unlucky he didn't finish off his good work. He knew that he missed it. So.
It's a fair shank from 15 out in front, too.
It is, but he's causing a few problems now. He's having a good battle with Drew Petrie, because Petrie's had 8 possessions, but he's just starting to find a bit of the footy himself.
And importantly, late in the quarter, Adelaide have found a way to get a few scoring opportunities when it looked like their first goal was going to be a long time coming.
Watt to Thomas. So 7 scoring shots to 4 at the moment. North Melbourne's had the 4. They're 2-2 to Adelaide's 1-6. Well, close to the wing end. Forito seeds it out inside 2 minutes to quarter time.
And in the end, they're probably unlucky not to be in front, Adelaide. 1 goal 6. Kurt Tippett, he's kicked 1 goal 2 from 3 opportunities, but at least he's getting those opportunities to have shots at goal.
Big slap on by Simpson, but Crows with the numbers. Vince, McKay, McLeod. Midfield, Scott Thompson. And now the kick in Goodwin's direction. Good fist by Watt, thumped it back. Corey Jones down in the fence, lending a hand. Power slips it up to Harvey. Handballs it out to
Great
Jones.
tackle. How to get rid of that?
Somehow, Douglas, he picks it up. Burton had the fly and left it behind. Petrie thumps it through.
Gee, the tackle, I think it was Michael Dowdy, was an absolute ripper on Corey Jones, and he felt it. He's hurt Corey Jones. Might have got a little hand pass to it, benefit of the doubt. Good spoil there too from Farito.
Scott Thompson. Held up, back pocket. Short to Ed Lower. Norwood boy back home, Ed Lower. His old state. To Harding. And now Lee Brown left it behind. McKay. Griffin. Scott Edwards. Crowd said hurry up, and he heard them and got it to him. 45 seconds. Goodwin. Left it behind. Paul Pleasure within range. Sends the bomb. Burton again. Left it behind again. Kicked it off the deck, but it's pushed through.
Well, he's either going to take market here or kill himself tonight, Brett Burton. He has had a decent leap at that and landed pretty solid on his back.
And almost got a boot on it.
Oh, again, Farito there to rush it through.
So,
well, they'll be happy with his spell, Adelaide, in the last 5 minutes. Just broken the shackles, as you mentioned before, Jason, and finding ways to goal, but have not consolidated with 1-8 to quarter time.
But satisfaction in the Kangaroos camp as well, because you've got to start well into state. You've got to make sure that you don't let the crowd get into you early, and you show that you're here to match it, and they've certainly done that.
They're on here now, the Kangas.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Smith, if there's time, that is, of course. Thomas.
With a mark.
Spears the pass, hoping for Campbell. Back pocket. So a strange opening term here at Amy Stadium. The Adelaide Crows with 9 scoring shots. North Melbourne just the 4. But Adelaide 1-8. North Melbourne 2-2. Some Kangaroo players probably think they're in front, looking at that scoreboard, given what they thought last week. But scores, boys, are actually level. 1-8-14 plays 2-2-14. Quarter time at Amy Stadium, low scoring first term, 1-8-14 Adelaide to North Melbourne 2-2-14. Second term not far away. Let's go downstairs to Lee Colbert. He has Darren Crocker. Welcome to you, Lee. How are you?
Boys, how you going? Croc, under the pump, certainly in that last 5 minutes, but you actually got out of the blocks okay.
Yeah, look, it was important in a hostile environment to come out of the blocks, but you know, when they started kicking a few points, we were having a bit of trouble getting the ball back into play. So we just need to get a little bit more run from behind. We just felt it was too stagnant, kicking the ball too much and not getting enough handball receives.
The interchange, so much has been spoken about during the week. Have you actually told or mentioned anything to the boys?
Not really. Like, we just stick to what we've been doing. We've been probably rotating about 80 guys through the interchange, and you know, we've been getting it pretty much right. So we're pretty happy with the way that's been going.
Thanks, mate. All the best tonight.
Good on you, Colby.
Darren Crocker down there with Lee Colbert, former Kangaroo superstar Colby is. What did you make of the opening term, gentlemen?
Oh, look, I actually enjoyed it. As Darren Crocker said, it was important to make a start when you're interstate and there is a very hostile crowd. You've got to get yourself into the contest early. They did that, the Kangaroos. Then Adelaide fought back. It looked like they were going to go goalless in the first quarter, but they actually kicked one, had a number of other opportunities, wasted a few opportunities. But I thought it was just a pretty good arm wrestle early on, Jacko.
You mentioned it, arm wrestle. Tight and tough early, and it's going to continue like that. Some stage it's going to open up, but from up here, it looks fantastic. It's beautiful conditions out there, no breeze, but it is dewy and it is a bit slippery underfoot, so just got to play the percentages, go along. And I thought Kangaroos demonstrated that by running through the middle, and they just suffocated a bit of Adelaide's run and, I guess, attack from the half-back line. So it'll be interesting to see maybe Goodwin. He only had the 2 possessions in that quarter. Predominantly he's in the forward line, but if they can get him up, he's the guy that can break the game a bit.
Yeah, I thought Shannon Watt's done a very good job on Goodwin, because Goodwin's played mostly forward. And Shannon Watt was an unlikely matchup, I thought, but he's matched him for pace and certainly for size and strength.
Underway in the second term. Griffin got the kick away, but stolen by Harvey. Rolls it towards half forward. Stevens attacked it well, but dragged down.
So much so as they attack the Kangaroos in that first quarter. Brett Burton had 9 possessions. You would think if he had 9 possessions, he would have kicked 3 or 4 goals. Yep. But he had to come right up the ground and work really hard. So it's another plus for the Kangaroos, getting their direct opponent out of their forward 50.
Hale tried to shuffle out a handball. Went back into the pack. Rawlings lower. Pratt toward Nathan Thompson. Gathered on the bounce. Thomas to the pocket around the body. Well, it's a free to Adam Simpson.
No.
Okay.
It's going Adelaide's way and 50. The umpire signalled holding of the jumper.
Well, Brent Harvey thought what I thought, and that was that it was Adam Simpson's ball for a too high on the marking contest.
Clearly indicated holding a jumper, and then he had no hesitation in paying the 50. I think they've been very good, the umpires, tonight.
They have. And you know Ray Chamberlain's fairly hot when it comes to wasting time. Burton, hands spectacular.
Gee, worked well, Jason, there to get front position against a fairly big body.
It's got Nathan Van Berlo peeling for him. Van Berlo got pushed just as he kicked it, and that was enough. Behind, the Crows in front.
We'll just see on this free kick, yeah, just holding the jumper. He was just trying to, Corey Jones, protect Adam Simpson from getting killed there, but well spotted up by the umpire.
And that was what the 50 was for, that shot.
Just having a practice shot, Brent. I think he knew deep down too.
Pratt, straight down the middle. Hale almost held. No free. Shirley slips up the handball. Toe poke by McLeod was good. Gets it back from Knights. Goodwin. Possession number 3. Thumps it inside 50. Burton, Tippett, they're all there. Paul Pleasure. Back of the pack, Pratt. Does slip the tackle. Got a handball out just in time. Thompson, Ferrito, Petrie. Kangaroos looking confident at the moment. The first gamer, Josh Smith. Can't collect it. We'll get a ball in.
Well, he worked hard for that, Josh Smith, too. He just had to chip it up in the air, I think, Drew Petrie, because that was just an easy way of maintaining possession. He tried to dart one in, missed the target, and off the Jewett, skidded out.
Power, and also Hamish McIntosh on the bench for the Kangaroos. Campbell. Past Van Berlo. Lee Brown. He thumps it toward the goal square. Shannon Grant's there, but getting back, Graham John Cock just peels off his man so well. McLeod on the rebound they come. Doughty sends it wide. Harvey got a hand on it. Tipped it away from Douglas. Pratt with a good hip and shoulder shepherd. Harvey back to Simpson. Straight down the middle.
Brent Harvey's very good at his closing down speed and in helping by aiding a direct teammate. He's done that many times over his career where he's cut off passes like that.
Smith to Watt. Now Rawlings.
Oh, they're on.
Handball over the top. Harding kicked one in the opening term. Time to size them up. Nails one early in the second.
Well, Jason, I just mentioned about Brent Harvey. I reckon that's where it started from, because Adelaide were well on their way there through McLeod and Shirley running down the wing, but he was managed to cut it off, as I mentioned before. Switch of play. Brady Rawlings got the loose man over, and that's a good goal for the Kangas in a response where Adelaide were moving forward very rapidly.
I like the work rate of young Josh Smith for the Kangaroos too. He's had 4 possessions now. He presents well. Hasn't always used the ball well by foot, but certainly puts himself in the right positions to receive it.
North Melbourne back in front with less scoring shots. 20 plays 15. The umpires continue to toss the ball in the air. Shirley knocks it to McLeod. Kick away just in time, but a wide ball. Ferrito leads in the chase for it. Burton got it away to Simpson. Umpire said it was okay. Harding been spectacular so far in this game. Hale back to Harding. Chips it inside 50. It's a wobbler. Tough one to grab. Boundary line looming. John Cock, one-handed sweeping pickup. Van Berlo, or VB as they call him here. The one VB they do like in South Australia. Short to Doughty. Pokes it over the top. Shirley holds it up. Edwards Simpson, well, he looked at the oncoming player, but met nothing but ball, no free. Harding again. Tried to bounce it, ended up drop kicking it. Inside 50 and Bock takes the mark.
Well, that's a perfect indication of how dewy it is. You've got to be very careful and have plenty of room if you're going to try a bounce.
And on the break like that, Jason, just got to be careful instead of bombing it in. I mean, he tried to do the right thing and have a bounce. He was forced by circumstances, but you're just going to kick it straight to the opposition players.
Johncock fell over. Smith, first gamer, picks it up. Caught. Handball out, but to Massey. Kick around the body. Tough one to gather, and it was gathered well by Scott Thompson. Wants 50, doesn't get it. 20 plays 15. 6 minutes gone, second term. Full house here at Amy Stadium. Poor pleasure. Box seat, Scott Simpson. It's the hand, fist on it.
How quick was that?
Edwards, Doughty, Scott Thompson. Now Burton.
Probably outside his range.
And knows it. Pokes the pass short. Tough one to mark. Goodwin got his arm slapped.
Chopped the hand.
So Simon Goodwin will line up.
That's good discipline play by Adelaide because they know that of the rule it's going to favour their forward players when moving forward. So left the space open. Forces the defender has to do that. It's the only option you got in the end.
I reckon. I still think that's a soft free kick. I don't even think he caught the arm. He just tried to put a little bit of pressure on him, and the ball effectively slipped through Goodwin's hands.
You don't have to convince me about the rule, mate.
It's tough on defenders, isn't it?
Possession number 4 for Goodwin tonight. To put Adelaide back in front. He's got his first.
Well, I find it strange, Jason, that Adelaide are in front by a point because the Kangaroos have certainly dominated the first 5 minutes of this quarter, and as we see that replay there, that's the rules. It is on the back, the hands on the back, or chop the arms, whatever you want. But this is the man they want to get into the game. As we mentioned, Dwayne needs 4th possession, but more importantly, a goal for himself and his side.
th goal of the season for Simon Goodwin, the captain. Watt with the height and the reach advantage.
Well, this just shows you how difficult it is as a backman. You're within arm's length. He just clipped the shoulder. And you're thinking, well, what is a backman to do if he can't reach the ball, but he's with arm reach the play? You want to put some pressure on. Does he just have to run behind and hope he drops it? So tough on defenders.
Scott Thompson with a fresh air shot. Tried to kick it out of the air, missed it completely.
So if you're a kid coming up, play forward or play on ball. Don't play down back. You'll have more fun.
From the ball up, Pratt. Wells dragged down by McLeod, didn't have it or threw it away. Depends on how you read it.
Importantly, though, it held play up.
Look at this. Now,
well, he's a bit stiff, McLeod, because he actually fumbled the ball. Wells.
Well, handballed it with the palm of the hand, and that is not a handball. Hamish McIntosh in game number 50 for him tonight. And his AFL debut against Adelaide as well. Players game 50 against them. Scott Thompson somehow got it out to Stevens. Harvey, Harris, pocket. Good spoil, ball thumped down against Campbell. Johncock, long ball, Seller, can he get there? He can, but he left it behind. McIntosh, Harris, Bock was coming hard. Harvey, Nathan Thompson takes them on, shrugs the tackle, centering kick, tough one to mark. Spoil off Harding, lower, dragged down, got rid of the ball, Jones dumped. Lower dives back in, 3 Crows around it. Umpire says play on, they get it out. Scott Thompson again, the 1-2 with Edwards. Sends it wide. It's possession number 12 for Scott Thompson. Poor pleasure. Pratt. Poor pleasure. Needs a shepherd, leaves it behind. Harris gets it back again. Rawlings. Now Pratt. Wells. All about this kick. Sends a long bomb over the top. Big fist and good fist from Scott Stevens.
Well, it was a good fist by Scott Stevens because the earlier contest before he elected to go for a mark and didn't pay off, and he was lucky not to get penalised by the Kangas going forward, but at that time the big double fist over the boundary line. Good work.
Tippett doing some ruck work, knocks it down. McLeod Dragged down. Get a ball up from the local boy, umpire Justin Schmidt, South Australian umpire. He does live in Melbourne now to ply his trade. Big pack of players around this ball up. And no one really going anywhere.
It's like a rugby scrum.
It is.
Well, it's inside 50 count, 21-15 in favour of the Kangaroos, and find themselves trailing. So
and 11 scoring shots to 5 in favour of Adelaide.
And the ball up, Jones rolls it. Bernie Vence. A tackle, McLeod was over it for a long while. John Cock, he's wrapped up. No prior opportunity. And it's in a dangerous area for the Adelaide Crows to try and thump this through. Kangaroos, you would think, would have someone on the goal line here. Tippett and McIntosh kept alive. Rawlings dragged down. Scott Thompson. Shirley breaks free but can't get a decisive kick away. Wells slapped it to Harris. Again threading through Scott Thompson. Sends it inside 50. Lindsay Thomas takes the grab.
Well, don't underestimate the importance of Lee Brown there in allowing Thomas to take an uncontested mark, because he was working with his opponent, Nathan Bock. Bock knew he was one man against two. He was desperate to get to the contest. The long kick from Thompson comes in, and you'll just see Brown holding Bock off, and it allows Thomas to take the mark.
A good unselfish play, considering he's the key forward, and you've got a little bloke coming in front of you. He's more or less got to be there from the front square, but Lee Brown, good team play there and allowing his teammate taking the mark.
He's got 11 goals, 5 this season. He has been a key, Lindsay Thomas, and he kicks this one.
Well, just an important goal for the Kangaroos. We mentioned the inside 50 count before. Got to make more usage of the ball going in there, but good way to kick to the top of the square, just holding his direct opponent there, Lee Brown. Good football, good structures, good setups. They're a disciplined side. They always work for each other, the Kangaroos.
Andrew McLeod in the centre of the ground for the Crows. There's one way of getting the lower or the Ed lower tag away.
First goal for the night for Lindsay Thomas, who kicked a couple of goals and got a Brownlow vote last time these two teams met, which was round 12 last year at Carrara.
Is that man?
McLeod. Good one. Flies, can't mark. Seller. Petrie. Boundary line. In that game at Carrara, Adelaide won by 46 points. It was a low-scoring game as well. Adelaide kicking 15 goals to North Melbourne's 7. There's Harvey getting some work done. Check with Lee Colbert shortly as to what the problem is there. Simpson tried to get it out. Then Burlow. Centering kick. Almost Jackie. Went for the big fly again. Didn't bring it down again. Petrie. Harding. Lee Brown. Bock. Fist wins out from Bock. Thumps it toward the line. And that's a big win. It was like a kick. Lee Colbert.
Yeah, Boomer Harvey, as you mentioned, Dwayne, has come off. It's his right calf. He's just stretching it, talking to the doc right now. So I'll give you some updates on Boomer.
He is a little spring heel, Jaron Jackie, isn't he? He doesn't mind going for the big leap.
Edwards almost threw that out. High kick. And Tippett's kick unable to be marked by Seller. Petrie content to see it over the line.
Look at this replay of Bock. Just his closing down speed. He's certainly an informed defender of the competition at the minute. All-Australian probably at this minute, but early to say, but just his closing down speed was fantastic there.
Pratt, no free, strangely enough. Hamish McIntosh, Simpson, Wells, out of play on the full. Umpire said don't dive, but hey, if you haven't got it and you tackled, you haven't got it and you tackle. Bock.
Whether he's right or wrong, though, it's good to see the umpire at least making a decision on whether it was a legitimate kick or not, and trying to read whether the player's staging for it.
Seller gets the kick away and misses. And they're behind.
Good use of the body there by Seller. He just fended off his direct opponent and able to keep his feet, which is vitally important as a key forward.
2 goals, 10 now Adelaide. Simpson sends it wide. Fist from Scott Thompson is good. Boundary line looming. McKay.
Oh, they're on in the middle of the ground now. Numbers everywhere.
Dowdy can go. Looks up. Anybody a target. Goodwin goes for him. Van Berlo shoots it over the top. Edwards from 30. Finally wobbles one home. Adelaide back in front.
Well, I was about to say, Jack, if you wanted the chain of hand passes to end up in anyone's hands for a shot for goal, it was Tyson Edwards, albeit on his left foot, and notwithstanding the fact that it was a dreadful kick off the boot. Yeah. But he is a beautiful kick of the footy normally, and even though it wobbles a little bit, he has it on line, and to be able to do that on the opposite
that was
foot...
a good kick.
That'll do,
through the
though.
middle.
That'll do.
Through the middle, mate.
They needed to get a few through the big post because way too many are unfortunately wasted opportunities. 3 goals, 10.
Been reasonably accurate this year as well, Tyson Edwards. 6 goals, 1. His first goal of the night. Adelaide back in front by 2 points, and we'll get another ball up in the middle.
Well, if Dean Lady can come into half-time with this scoreline, I think he'd be very happy, because the natives have been pretty quiet here, and just indicates that the Kangaroos are right in this game.
Harvey back on, and Van Berlo back on him. Simpson, Power. Harvey gets a possession, back to Power. And now wide to Lindsay Thomas. Held up on the wing. Told to move it on. Just bangs it long. Good fist. Grant. Harvey. A wobbler inside 50. McLeod thumps it down. Mops up his own work. Bassett. Massey. Edwards kicked the last goal, now down in the back pocket. Finds Goodwin. Just inside the line.
Not much ahead, though. Just needs to hold it up and look for an option to present itself.
Thumps it long, Seller. Poor pleasure from 4 deep. Good fist. Simpson thumped it toward the boundary, and Jackie can't cut it off. We'll get a ball in.
You mentioned Dwayne, poor pleasure 4 deep, but he had to go, even though he's a little bloke, he had to go to create the contest. I reckon he forced a contest for the ball to go out there.
Back into play. Griffin with the reach. Got a palm on it. Thompson. Pratt.
Good touch.
Out of play, and it touched the line. We'll get a ball in. 28 plays 26. Adelaide's reached the finals every season under Neil Craig. They had to play in a grand final under him. A few wrote them off during pre-season, but they're a contender again, as are the Kangaroos. And they're fighting for 4th spot on the ladder tonight. McKay to McLeod. Took the step to try and fall lower. And short to Burton. Gets there and good grab. See, that is Burrito marked it with him.
That is a perfectly weighted kick from Andrew McLeod. He saw Burton on the lead. He took 2 steps back from the man on the mark and just chipped it over the top. The weight had to be perfect because he had to get it up and over the man on the mark and then down into the path of Burton, who probably should have attacked it with his hands. But the kick was so good, it just fell straight into the breadbasket.
4 goals last week against Carlton, Brett Burton. 18-10 for the season. And he misses to the near side.
Gee, haven't they been
3
wasted?
goals, 11. And the natives are restless here.
And you just know at some stage against a good side like the Kangaroos that the kicking will come back to haunt you.
With the Brett Burton banners. Happy birthday to him.
And why wouldn't he be popular with the kids, the exciting brand of football
yes.
that he plays?
Long kick, Petrie. A Burton-esque kind of leap, leaves it behind. McKay, slung, Shirley. Sold the dummy. And now Douglas. 45 from goal. Richard Douglas. Speaking of goals, 3 goals last week against Carlton from the boot of Richard Douglas.
They've been good there in this quarter, particular Adelaide, on the counter. They've been able to go quick into their forward line and find a couple of spare players.
This for the biggest lead of the night for Adelaide. If he stretches it to 9 points. That's what he has in front of him. Big crowd about to go up behind the goals. It's there. They lead by 9.
Well, just a good goal. You mentioned their goal kicking inaccuracy, but that time a very good kick on goal there by the Crows, just moving the ball forward, which was very, very important on the counter-attack, as I mentioned before. But just a good battle between Hamish McIntosh and Jonathan Griffin, both 9 possessions each, so just testing each other when they're running forward. We're looking to see how that contest goes throughout the second half.
Richard Douglas, the less famous of the 2 AFL stars from Broadford in Victoria. And Barry Hall, of course, the other. Ball up in the middle. Hale knocked it down. Simpson, the clearance. No one home at half forward. Knights. Massey. Pass Lindsay Thomas. Bounce on the slippery turf.
Oh, boy.
It's not so good. And Burlow sees it spilt. Vince. Douglas. Van Burlow. Long. Seller. Good fly. Off hands. The Birdman flew and scraped it through.
I'll tell you what caught my eye in that passage of play. James Seller, off a very short run-up, nearly took a terrific mark over the top of Drew Petrie. He's got a bit of potential. He's only playing his first game. He stretched up and forced the ball forward, but roving at full pace, the Birdman, and that was perilously close to the left goalpost, but didn't he enjoy it when it went through?
You mentioned the contest. That direct contest there brought the ball down. As a forward, you need to do that. But the last 2 goals have come through pace, the element of surprise by the Crows moving the ball quicker to their forward line.
19 goals for the season now for Brett Burton. Never kicked a big bag against North Melbourne. Maybe tonight. Lower. Simpson. Brown. Simpson with the toe poke that comes off to Lower. And now Rawlings. Inside 50. Thomas. Hands on it. Couldn't mark it. Well, shovel out worked well. John Cock. McLeod slips. Harvey, he kicks around the body. Can't bring it around enough. In the pocket they fly. Lindsay Thomas. Tackled by Massey. Umpire will ball it up.
Just important. The Kangaroos have just got to be mindful of John Cock, because he's certainly starting to accumulate a few possessions off that half-back line by running the ball out of the Kangaroos' defence. Need to be mindful and man him up.
Close to the boundary line, and you mentioned John Cock and Thomas, both players coming from the all-Indigenous club, Mallee Park. And Graham John Cock's father is the man who actually coached Lindsay Thomas and Daniel Wells at Mallee Park. And on cue, Graham John Cock gets the clearance.
That's his 12th possession.
Power takes on Edwards. Doesn't win. McLeod. Oh, they left it behind. Rawlings. Lower. Chip Kickley. Brown. Hale. Got an ear slapped, and that's a free. Crowd don't like it.
And a little bit lucky, David Hale, because the ball should have been marked and it just slipped straight through the fingers. Now, he did get a little clip around the ear, so it is a free kick, but lucky to get a second effort after missing the mark.
Sends it long. Inside 50, Nathan Thompson. It is a tough ball to mark tonight. Lots of players getting up and getting hands to it, but not bring it down. Shirley got it from Stevens. Simpson slides in. John Cock. Play on, he tried, and then it's dragged under. And we'll get a ball up from umpire Schmidt. Wasn't fooled by that.
Just an important 4 minutes before half-time here for the Kangaroos. They've had it inside 50 the last twice in the last minute, but Adelaide are just threatening to break this game before half-time.
Interesting, the use of Brady Rawlings now for the Kangaroos. Andrew McLeod's gone onto the ball and Ed Lower's gone with him. Rawlings is just running as a normal midfielder.
Goodwin, Vince, then Massey. High towards the wing. Almost is Douglas. Gathered his own work. Boundary line. The Sanctuary.
Deliberate.
And he is paid deliberate.
Good pressure. He tried to disguise it as a hand pass down the line, but there was no teammate within Cooey.
Rolling short to Thomas. Lindsay Thomas too far out to score. Pops it inside 50 to Adam Simpson. Is he within range from there?
Well, he's looking inside. Just might test him. The 33-year-old.
Yes. Speaking of North royalty, he'll pass David Dench, Mick Martin and Anthony Stevens this year on the games tally. Adam Simpson, some superstars there. Sends it toward the goal square. Nathan Thompson again got up and again didn't mark it. Goodwin. A toe poke in the Bock direction. Goodwin again. Thompson in hope. McIntosh.
No, that wasn't a great kick from Simon Goodwin. Now he's put the defence under pressure.
Over the head of Wells. Nathan Thompson. Wells stayed down. Read it beautifully. Sidesteps traffic. Hits the post.
Well, that's a let-off.
Yeah, it is.
Simon Goodwin, just the panicking long bomb kick out of defence, went straight to the opposition. Whenever that happens, because when you win ball down back, your teammates run to position to try and create opportunities. They're not worried about manning up when you've actually got possession.
And that kick is what all AFL sides are trying to prevent from doing. They're trying to maintain possession of the ball and find the right play to hit up, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You kick it, blast away, and Daniel Wells should have punished the Crows on that occasion.
John Cock to the pocket to Goodwin. Stevens. Shirley. Back to Stevens. Goodwin. Half-back flank. Nice blind turn around Wells. Toward half forward. Burton comes down. Can't gather the crumb. McIntosh to reload for the Roos. Power, Harris, Simpson. Now Rawlings. All about this kick. Low trajectory and wide. Nathan Thompson forced to work. Two Crows with him. They strip him. John Cock got it out. Bock was tripped. And 50.
2 minutes ago. Gotta stay disciplined here.
Yeah, they can't afford to concede a goal here, because in the context of the match, the greasy conditions, not easy to take marks and kick goals. So 14 points is a good margin. They wouldn't want to get it out to 20 at half-time.
Bock to Burton quickly. 55 from goal. It would take his best.
Yeah, I think he's looking to find another target inside the attacking 50.
He could wind up and nail this. He kicks it long to the square. Tips down there. Griffin can't get a toe poke on it.
They're going to do something here.
Douglas wants to thread the handball back. Paul Pleasure with strength. Rolling ball, boundary line.
Good result there by the Kangas, because Adelaide were very good at keeping that ball alive in the forward line with only 2 minutes to go. And Simon Goodwin's enjoyed a very good second quarter after a slow first quarter. Managed to get himself up to 9 possessions now.
Griffin and Tippett go for the ruck contest. Griffin thumps it out to Rawlings, Pratt, Simpson, Watt. Into trouble. Handball just in time.
It was a handball, was it, Dwayne?
Jones left it behind. McKay slung. Knights. 1 minute 50 and counting. Vence back to full forward. Good one-on-one duel. Tippett knocked it down.
Good tackle.
Good tackle. Powers' handball must have been legal. Scott Thompson. Lee Harding.
He lost it in the lights, Graham. John Cocky didn't go for it at all. He's shaking his head. Didn't know if it was coming to him, over him, or dropping short.
Move it on. Play on. Play on.
Lee Harding told to get on with it. Pratt, traffic coming. Over the head of Campbell. Knights coming. Campbell takes him on. Jones. Dumped by Goodwin. Turnover. McLeod got the handball up to McKay. They're away again. A minute from half-time. Another spearing ball, hoping for Douglas. Couldn't mark it, but he crumbs it. He was ridden. No free. Watt. Harris. Tight, tough contest at the moment. Ferrito. Boundary line, the Sanctuary. And he was done for holding the ball.
You can see what he was trying to do, Michael Ferrito, just trying to draw the player in before he gave the hand pass. But the player...
and 50. No. Jackie will have a shot from the top of the square, Jaron Jackie.
He did say it was unnecessary, so it could have been a bit of verbal lip back to the umpire, but we have got a player down in the forward pocket with the Crows. Not sure it is.
Douglas, is it? I think he was the one involved in that passage of play with Brett Burton.
So they may have to bring the stretcher out here before Jaron Jackie kicks his first goal.
You never like to see him testing a knee like that, Swain.
No.
Not a great sign.
No, he's called for it.
Well, that is Richard Douglas. We'll have a look at him. He comes sliding in here. And he's
yes. Across his knee, yeah.
He just has a body anchored across the lower leg and then gets pulled across it. Not much he could do about it, and certainly nothing underwater about it, but you can just see the right leg there trapped underneath him.
And we saw Aaron Edwards, similar situation last week, break his leg. But at least he was able to come off sort of with his own steam, Richard Douglas. Yep. All eyes on Jaron Jackie. First goal in AFL football. And he's asking for the footy.
Where is he? He's over here, the blue side. Get him off. Off! You got to go, mate.
Oh, they can't continue play until motorised buggy is out of the area.
He's just sitting there enjoying the game.
What about Jaron Jackie, though? He wants to kick his first goal. He's got to hurry up and he got told to hold back.
Pressure's on him now.
He got pulled up just as he was about to pull the trigger.
It was.
What chance this kick now?
Wait, Jaron.
Oh, now he gets the weight again.
He should just ask Ray Chamberlain to come and kick it for him now.
He's a good kid, though. Part of Western Australia's championship-winning Till Cup team last year. And he runs, and it's there.
He's happy.
So he should be. Welcome to the big time.
Didn't look the most confident of set shots.
Well, he had a big build-up, so full credit to him for actually nailing it. But I'm just not sure, as we see someone coming off here. It's just his body weight that's over him, Jason. It's pinned his right knee as he's trying to throw him back over.
It might be ankle.
It might be.
Ankle.
Well, it depends how strong the ankle is. If it it just stayed firm and then it transfers up to the next joint being the knee.
Jaron Jackie gets a rest for his trouble. Picked 30 in last year's draft. It's his first goal in footy. Subiaco boy. And wearing Matthew Bode's old number 10. And game number 2 for him tonight. Rawlings with the handball out. 30 seconds and counting. One last roll of the dice perhaps for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, they're desperate for a goal. If they could make one here, just take something into half-time with them.
Wells.
Not with a kick like that.
Shannon Grant had 3 Crows around him. Knights, Goodwin, Bassett, Stevens. And now they're away again. McKay needs to get a mark off this kick. He needs to send it long quickly. 3 seconds, 2, 1. They'll be happy with a 20-point lead, you would think, at half-time, though, the Adelaide Crows. An inaccurate opening term. 6 goals, 11. North Melbourne had the better of the opening term, but scores were level after the first quarter, and the Adelaide Crows, with 5 goals in the second term, take a 20-point lead in at the long break. 6-11-47 to 4-3-27. Douglas, Van Berlo, long, Seller. Good fly, off hands, the Birdman flew and scraped it through.
Half-time here at Amy Stadium, and it is the Adelaide Crows leading by 20 points. Slightly dewy conditions, a little bit greasy, but we have seen a very entertaining contest in the first half. Now, Jacko, people are often very quick to hop into the umpires, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure
I think
are.
they've been very, very good tonight. We're going to show a couple of decisions that they've made. These are players claiming marks. You've got the crowd involved because they want the mark paid.
Yep.
But on each occasion, I think the umpire has got it spot on.
Especially when you're coming to Amy Stadium, it can be intimidating the crowd. It looked like a certain mark there to Thompson, but the camera angle shows that the ball did hit the ground, spill out, and we'll see a couple more here. That spilled out.
There's only incidental contact.
Yep.
He actually loses control of the footy because he's expecting the contact. That's a good decision.
Not a lot in it. That's a good decision. But this one here, it's his positioning as the ball came down the ground. He's got the mark. That position doesn't look good, but if the umpire's in the right position, which was on the goal side of it, he's best to call the decision. So good work by the umps.
A lot of young stars in action tonight. One of those is Kurt Tippett. Now, this guy shows a lot of promise, whether he's playing in the ruck or deep forward. He's taken a couple of strong contested marks, just hasn't quite finished off.
He hasn't. He's having a good battle with Drew Petrie there. Petrie's been attacking for the Kangaroos, but there we see he does kick a goal. He's just a player from a basketball background. He's getting better. He's competing, bringing the ball to ground. That one there, he should have kicked and put away, which hurts your direct opponent, but he's competing. And I guess it just keeps, his direct opponent accountable. But what I like about that last contest, which the Adelaide match committee will be very happy, was his competing, tackling. It was a great tackle, unlucky not to get rewarded, but that's what you want your big blokes to do. Not only mark and compete, but bring the ball to ground.
We know how difficult Brett Burton is to match up on. He covers ground, he has a fantastic leap, he's quick on the lead. Michael Frito's been the man assigned the job, and he's stuck to his guns. He's had to do it at all parts of the ground. He's chased him everywhere.
And to his credit, he's pushed the Birdman outside the forward 50. He had 9 possessions in the first quarter for only 1 point, but in the second quarter started to really get into it. I guess the players kept him deep, and the element of surprise by the midfielders was pushing the ball a bit quicker into the Adelaide forward 50, but did kick a very good goal here from a good contest, as we see. But not only does he compete, but he's just got a huge motor, Jason, where he just runs all day, and tough assignment for any player that plays on him.
It certainly is. Look, it hasn't been one-way traffic for Adelaide by any stretch of the imagination. The Kangaroos were going very well early. One of those players getting involved off halfback was Lee Harding, and Lee Colbert has been keeping a very close eye on him ttonight, Colby.
Yeah, I have. He's actually been playing up on the wing as well, Jason, and really had an impact in that first half. Kicked a couple of really nice goals. He's certainly recovering well from a reconstruction last year, and he's been used all over the place this year in defence, and certainly a little bit up forward, as most Kangaroos fans would know. But he's run really well tonight through the wings and put a lot of pressure on as well. So he'll be looking forward to a good second half, and hopefully with his run and carry, he can bring the Roos back into the game. Just a quick one on Richard Douglas. Great news. It's just a sprain, so it did look much worse, but he's actually should be okay to play in the second half, which is great news for Crows supporters.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well done, Colby. Richard Douglas should be okay to take his place out on the ground in the second half. One Adelaide Crow star that's not in action tonight is Ben Rutten, and we're going to hear from him on the other side of the break.
Half-time at AAMI Stadium, and Richard Douglas, good to see him back out there, and looks as if that ankle might be okay. Probably will come to the bench again, but this is where it was twisted under the body weight of Scott Simpson.
Well, it looked a lot worse at the time, Dwayne, and they were out on the ground. The stretcher came out, they were checking the knee, and we thought all sorts of problems. So this is a great result that he's back on the bench, and he's been up having a kick, he's jogging around, he's moving around pretty well. It looks like he's going back down the race there, but certainly when it could have been one with the lot, the ACL, we don't think it is.
Under the body weight of Scott Thompson, of course, not Adam Simpson. And there is the other Scott Thompson out there, Brett Burton, playing his way back into the game after being relatively quiet in the opening term. These two teams, of course, like all the teams in the competition, with a week off next week for the All-Star break. Some players will be playing in that All-Star game, but maybe that is exactly what Richard Douglas will need, an extra week to get over that ankle problem. 20-point lead to the Adelaide Crows heading into this second half. 17 scoring shots to 7 of the opening half. With Adelaide being reasonably inaccurate, and Kirk Tippett, one of the reasons they have been inaccurate, had a couple of chances in the opening term he wasn't able to put away. 1 goal, 2 to his name.
Well, it's vitally important the Kangas get off to a good start here. Put good pressure on the Adelaide Crows, and put pressure on the scoreboard. They need to get the first couple here.
They need a marking target up forward. Nathan Thompson, Corey Jones, none of them have been able to take marks in the attacking 50 and kick some goals. So they've got to find a winner up forward, the Kangas.
Ball tossed in the air again to start this second half. Harris, Simpson, Harvey. It's out of trouble. Rawlings, Simpson, lower. Harding.
He's pushed forward into space well, Lee Harding, tonight. We saw Lee Colbert talking about him at half-time. He's got a couple of goals to his name. He's really been an attacking threat pushing forward.
Only multiple goal kicker on the ground. Heads wide, and Lindsay Thomas, the target. Thumps it out towards Corey Jones, and he can't break free with it. We'll get a ball in.
Disappointed there, Lindsay Thomas, but I think that's just a sign of how greasy the conditions are. He went for a chest mark when it was a little bit too high, needed to use the hands, but didn't have the confidence.
Hamish McIntosh with the palm down. Corey Jones this time good. Harris, bouncing ball. Adam Simpson gets away from Goodwin. Kicks it towards the top of the square. Almost Lee Brown gathers the crumb to lower. McIntosh got a kick away. Toe poke off the deck, but unfortunately for Josh Smith, couldn't get his first goal on AFL footy. McKay cuts it off to Bok, left it behind. Lee Brown outside of the foot. They can rush it behind here and regroup.
Gee, it was unlucky, Lee Brown. Put in a good contest there, but didn't get the mark. But stripped the ball there.
Quick kick in. Van Berlo to Edwards to Goodwin. Burton's calling for a short. He's ignored. Paul Pleasure, the man, and genuine superstar grab. Takes off and kicks the goal of the night.
Well, Jason, that's the difference between the two sides. Adelaide just got a little bit more class. You talk at one end about taking a chest mark, but this boy here, he just kept the line of the ball to his favoured side, and whether the ball was going to spill down, he still would have stayed in the contest. Luck's a fortune. He took the mark, played on quickly, and he's just a beauty, young Paul Pleasure. He's getting better as each week goes by, but that's the difference. They have the ball one end, the Kangaroos, 3 or 4 repels on goal, nothing, but Crows go forward and kick goal.
Well, he's generally one of my favourite players to watch, Jason Paul Pleasure. Beautifully balanced and pure skills, and that is just a class goal.
Hip and shoulder, Griffin rode it. McKay picked it up, gave to Pratt though. To Simpson, Harding. Hamish McIntosh thumps it long towards full forward. Fist of Doughty wins out, knocks it down. Smith fighting hard for the Roos. John Cock got to Massey. Bok to the open side. Edwards says, I'll have it. McKay lends a bit of support with a shepherd if needed. Edwards sends it along to half forward. Paul Pleasure down there. Scott Thompson dives back. Paul Pleasure waited up, kept his feet, sends it to Burton. Good fist from Watt, but down to Shirley. He spins out of a tackle, hands it up. Knights couldn't trap it. Toe pokes it in the end. Tucked into the pocket. Goodwin. Centering kick from his boot. Back to full forward. Burton can't get the run at it. Stays down. Crumbs it instead. And sends it through. They are hot to start this second half.
Well, they're going to find life tough now, the Kangaroos. They've swapped a couple of their matchups, the Kangas. Michael Ferrito has moved up onto Simon Goodwin, and it's Watt that has now got the job on Brett Burton, and that is going to be a very big job for him. He was good in the air, but he wasn't there at ground level. It was Burton that didn't fly. He stayed down and roved and used his agility and speed to get around the contest, run in and kick an easy one.
Another classic case. The Adelaide Crows are keeping that ball alive in the forward line.
North Melbourne could have had Brett Burton. They chose Brady Rawlings, pick 15 in the 98 draft, and Brett Burton went the next pick for the Adelaide Crows. McLeod back inside 50 they come. Paul Pleasure spins around and kicks the second best goal of the night. He's a gun.
Well, Jason, this is not what the Kangaroos wanted. I mentioned before the start of the third quarter that they need to put scoreboard pressure, and Adelaide have gone down and kicked 3 goals in a space of a couple of minutes. A little bit of a push there, but just brings a lot to the plate, a lot up his sleeve, young Paul Pleasure, and just got in the right place at the right time. Good opportunist, good goal.
Two goals in the opening couple of minutes for Paul Pleasure, and 3 goals to Adelaide. They get the clearance again, and Goodwin held. No free. Pratt through traffic. Open midfield. Harding needs to kick it off the deck and does exactly that. Inside 50 to Brown. Thomas. Bok had him. Doughty played for the free. Didn't get it. Lee Brown can't capitalise. Behind.
Don't know why he went on his left foot there, Jason. He's predominantly a right-footed kick, Big Brown.
Well, this is Goodwin looking for a free kick. Maybe it did get dragged down by Frito, but happy for the umpire to call play on, and same decision at the other end when Doughty was calling for a free kick.
Nathan Bassett.
I think there's been a conscious effort from the umpires tonight to look for players that are actually trying to make more of a contact than is actually there.
Tyson Edwards
They just need to get their hands on the footy in the midfield, the Kangaroos. They're getting smashed around the contest.
Scott Thompson left it behind, and Scott Thompson comes at him, and Scott Thompson picks it up and kicks smothered out of play.
And then Scott Thompson gives away a free kick.
Simpson around the body hand, the mark taken by Josh Smith. Looked okay in game one. Top of the square, the kick. Lee Brown's down there. Fist of Bock wins out. Harvey straight to Goodwin. Uses the don't argue to advantage. Edwards got it from Van Berlo. Kicks it towards Paul Pleasure. Great use of the body by Paul Pleasure again.
Geez, having an impact in this quarter.
Burton calls short, and the pass superb. Just as good as the use of the body. No one's in the square. Burton knows it. And he kicks it out of play on the full.
It's a poor kick from Burton, but he is just a shining beacon out there at the moment, Jason Paul Pleasure. Just, he's so far ahead of everyone else in terms of handling the greasy ball, keeping his balance, and just executing his skills. He is putting on a display in this third quarter.
And not only that, showing good body strength for such a small player.
Well, as Pratt marks, it's his second chance on the list, Jason Paul Pleasure. He was on the rookie list back in 2003, delisted, and then redrafted in 2006. So making the most of his second opportunity. Rawlings.
I think the second opportunity, second time around, he's getting more time in the midfield, Dwayne, which is what he always wanted. He's a natural ball winner, but he was playing as a small forward, which can be very tough at times.
Bassett's spoil on Smith was legal. Gathered the crumb, kicked the half forward. Tippett couldn't collect it. Petrie does to Pratt. Tough one to mark this one. Harding. Oh, he's met by McKay.
Yeah. Didn't have his eyes on the ball there.
It's an interesting one, that, because McKay just
didn't look at it, Dwayne.
He grabbed a spot on the ground here. McKay stood.
You got to look at the ball. You can't look at the man.
Should have turned quicker. And he would have been okay. McLeod left it behind. Again, the handball misses the target. Scott Thompson. Nathan Bock. He's got Massey if he wants him. Back into the team this week, Chris Massey.
Didn't see the man coming off the bench.
Third game of the season.
After that.
Yeah, they're lucky the kick was astray, because if it chipped up to Tyson Edwards, Sam Power would have cleaned him up.
Shannon Grant, he looked threatening in the first quarter, kicked the goal, had a shot on straight after, but after that hasn't been cited, and he's only had the 6 possessions. Chris Massey's done a fantastic job after quarter time in closing him down.
Thompson got a toe on it. Wells.
Right in the middle here.
Grant. Lee Harding can go all the way here. Runs to 50. Shoots the handball off. Rawlings to Nathan Thompson, who's had a very quiet night, Nathan Thompson. Corey Jones. Shannon Grant across the face. And a great mark not paid to Lindsay Thomas.
Just didn't hold it.
Yeah, good attempt. That's a difference. That handball through the middle there. You had to hit Nathan Thompson and just spilled out. Difference between the two sides is their class at the minute, Jason.
Back into play. Van Berlo got the kick away. Tough one. Corey Jones can't mark it. John Cock fights on. Jones is over it. Toes it out. Van Berlo. Knights and lower. And the ball hits the line and rolls out. 65-29. North Melbourne in trouble. 4th versus 6th on the AFL ladder as it stands right now. Good one. Edwards. Knights. Open forward line again. Burton comes hard. Had it but lost it. Taps back to Knights. Edwards. All the way back to McLeod at half-back. Thought about holding it up, but just thumped it forward in hope. Hale fell over. Griffin. Van Berlo. Now they open it up. Goodwin to McKay. Tippett with a fist. And it's out of play. We'll get a ball in. Kangaroos on the ropes.
Brett Burton in a bit of trouble here. Just this 1, 2, 3 contest. His arm there. It's just in the hands of the trainers off screen at the minute, but so he's all right.
And the ball in. Scott Thompson. Handball to Campbell. Harding. Grant. Plays on and gets around Massey. Spears it, hoping for Corey Jones. Bassett's fist wins out as it so often does. Edwards, Massey, open it up again. Scott Thompson to McKay, open forward line. He can thump it along. They're peeling back. Goodwin's there. Tippett's there. Tippett's more than there.
He did that very well because he just had his direct defender off him, and he
too
just
big and strong for Scott Thompson.
But he kept his eyes on the ball all the way through the kick here, and look, his direct defender just couldn't find front position. It was just out of the contest. Great mark. You're over 200 centimetres, you can do that. And Scott Thompson just found himself out of the contest.
This is about the spot he missed his first kick for goal tonight too. Hope he's not having memories of that one.
Yeah, you have put the mocker on him, mate.
Possession number 5. Kick 1 goal 2 tonight. And they're stretching the margin by the minute. He's got 2.
4 unanswered goals, and the Crows are starting to really take control of this game. But just a good started from Nathan Bassett. He had elected to spoil the ball. He could have probably marked it, but sized up Greasy Knight, and the spoil went to great effect where the Adelaide Crows were able to switch the play, go to the other side of the ground, run it with pace, and as Thompson was out position there, Tippett did very well.
There's the Birdman. Lee Colbert's on the boundary. How's the Birdman's wing?
Yeah, not great. It looks like his elbow, though, boys. So in a lot of pain, though, Brett. So he came off, went straight to the dock, in a lot of pain. And Richard Douglas, he doesn't look too great either, although he's trying to warm up.
Okay, maybe a little hyperextension of that elbow. Pull up. Scott Thompson. Bernie Vence. Hale. Good tackle. Scott Thompson drags him down. Frito left it behind. Goodwin thumps it towards full forward. 2 Kangaroos fly. Both get a fist on it. No one's waiting for it. Jackie. Poor Pleasure. Tries to centre it straight to Petrie. Not the 15. Thumps it out of the area. Hale flies and marks. And really needed to mark that. Wells, handball not so good from Hale. Wells handball turned over. Jackie. Poor Pleasure. Good one. Just needs to finish. Put it in the book. He's got his second.
Well, Hale just put young Daniel Wells under enormous pressure there. That's the one we were talking about before. No need to play on if you're going to play on for the sake of it, but get your direct opponent in a bit of trouble. It's just going to put you, especially when you're just outside 50. But poor Pleasure's quick pick up and look inside. That's just a player that's just getting better as the weeks go, Jason.
He certainly is, and they are now just running amok, the Crows. This has all the signs of a big blowout.
'77 plays 29. Adelaide defeated Carlton last week, and Carlton made that form look pretty good last night. And that form's holding up. Simpson inside 50, but again, Crows waiting back. Bassett takes the mark and reloads. McLeod. Goodwin's on the move. If he can get there. Good fist by Farito. Thumped it out.
He's now really got himself into the game. I mean, he's a great player, champion player with great experience, but to only have 2 possessions at quarter time and now work himself right into the game, he's just a fantastic player. Now 18 possessions, so 16 in virtually less than half a game.
Burton with some strapping on that elbow. Edwards tried to thread it through. Goodwin back to Edwards. Scott Thompson toward full forward. Tip it down there with the reach. I'll put Pleasure sitting up. Another one to Jackie. Can't spin it around the body. Tippett stands under this. Brings it down to Knights. Kicks it back to Doughty. Well played by Lindsay Thomas. To his own advantage. Tries to scoop it up. Unsuccessful. Knights goes back in and gets it. Handball up but not to the target. Lindsay Thomas takes it out. Ball in.
It's not that they're not getting any possession, the midfielders for the Kangaroos. It's just that every time they are, they're under immense pressure. The ability of the Crows to just swarm on the player with the ball and force a turnover has been fantastic tonight.
Hale to the back of the pack, but to Knights. Got her onto the boot. Lee Brown caught by Poor Pleasure to Pratt. Shrugs Goodwin. Poor Pleasure had him back again.
The pressure we're talking about.
Again, Poor Pleasure in the middle of it. Ball out of play.
Well, that's what you want.
3 or 4 tackles in a row that didn't allow the Kangaroos, who'd won clean possession, to take the ball out of defence. You just see one there. He went a little bit high, Goodwin, but Poor Pleasure came in and closed him down the second attempt. Then there was Scott Thompson coming in. So it's just fantastic work ethic, both in attack and in defence.
Power, got it out. Lower, through traffic, kick and hope. Harding, bounce. Taps it to his own advantage, but takes on McLeod. Backed! And his pants completely pulled down. Crowd enjoyed that in more ways than one.
Desperation.
He's been one of their best, Lee Harding, tonight. Yeah. And you know your confidence is up when you take on Andrew McLeod and think, I'll just tuck it under the arm and run past him. He's actually playing on McLeod at the moment as well.
Not the first player who's had his pants pulled down by Andrew McLeod. McKay to half forward. Petrie, hip and shoulder, knocked it up to lower. Arm held. Harris half tripped.
Robert Shirley has done a sensational job on Brent Harvey. Harvey's still anchored on 13 possessions, and Shirley has 11 of his own.
Bassett gets there and thumps it toward the boundary line, and it's out of play. Yes, Harvey might be asked by his wife when he gets home, who's this Shirley you were with all night last night?
And importantly, the 13 possessions he has had, they haven't had any impact. He hasn't been able to get forward of the ball or into the attacking 50.
Handball up to Jones. Lindsay Thomas. Ferrito can send it inside 50. Shannon Grant's on the move. Front spot. Massey's fist superb. Shirley again. Knocked down. Up to Shirley's man. Speak of the devil. Harvey pops up and kicks the goal to keep them in it.
Well, that's what they need, and I'm going to give that credit to Shannon Grant because he contested the ball the mark here. Obviously, got straight back in with a tackle, second and third effort. Maybe there's, well, no, it wasn't a flick. I reckon he just, but good work by Boomer Harvey. A much needed goal. They need to get back-to-back goals here, and that was through hard work. Fantastic goal, good finish. He was a good finisher. Can't keep him down for too long a period. 13 possessions he was stuck on, but he'll keep working. That's what they need. They need a couple of passages they've got at the minute. They need to contribute a bit more.
Turns 30 years of age this month. Brent Harvey, three-time best and fairest winner.
This is the work from Shannon Grant off the ball, and then he just reaches out and gives it a flick straight to Brent Harvey. And no sooner have I said he hasn't been able to work forward or have an impact, he goes and kicks a goal just to stick it up there, doesn't he?
Ball tossed in the air. McLeod going nowhere. We'll get a secondary ball up.
They need a lot more of it, though, North Melbourne.
About to tick into time on third term. Fourth spot on the ladder up for grabs. Adelaide have it at the moment, and they don't want to give it up. Goodwin. Vince Van Berlo to half forward. Bouncing ball. Poor Pleasure. He can run in and kick another from 20. He's got 3.
Gee, I'm just getting more and more impressed with this kid, the way he can just his body work here. I mean, it looked like he was out of the contest. The defender, what else he's doing here? He's playing in front, doing all the right things. Luck's a fortune, but he's a real opportunist in moments like that, as well as he's a very good contested ball winner. He's actually leading the Adelaide Crows in that department. So when you can bring that many tricks to your game, you're going to be just a super player, a bench player for your side.
Jason Portpleasure is related to former Port Adelaide star Andy Portpleasure, family from the Ukraine. Although their names are spelt differently, couldn't decide on how to spell it when they arrived in this country, so the two halves of the family went different ways with different spelling. Doughty to Massey. And now John Cock, 83-35.
Jason, they've got to get Nathan Thompson in the game. 7 possessions, hasn't kicked a goal. Can he come out at a centre forward and play?
Look, he can. I mean, he's the mobile type that could do that. We see a fantastic diving mark there too. That's Richard Douglas back on the ground, and that is the best news Crows have had all night, because he went off with that knee injury. And
Portpleasure. Sorry, boys.
No, that's all right. And I was actually about to say, the thing I love about Jason Portpleasure, Dwayne, is he's a natural footballer. His ability to read the play and know what's going on around him. He just has a magnificent football brain.
So Brett Burton back on as well. So the 2 injured players, Douglas and Burton, having a run around. As we said, both with a week off next week, unless, of course, they get selected in the All-Star game. Scott Thompson for the Kangaroos.
Not a lot of run coming, very stagnant ahead.
Game number 3 for him. Mature age recruit, 22 years of age this year. Campbell left her behind, went back, mopped up his mess. McIntosh. Game number 50, not a memorable one for him so far.
And just the nature of the way they're moving the football means that every Adelaide Crow is ahead of the ball now.
Yes.
And look at the pressure that comes.
Harris.
There's the turnover.
McLeod. Richard Douglas. And that was exactly what Richard Douglas wanted to do, just hold it up, because Adelaide had no one ahead of the play for him to go to if he broke free anyway. Adam Simpson, handball out, but to Knights. The leads come. Wide ball, tough one for Sella. Ferrito beats him to it and shrugs him. Now Burton comes at him. That elbow's fine.
It was a good chase too. Now all of a sudden they're under pressure again.
Simpson back. What? Power.
Wrong direction.
Danger. Portlesia with the one hand.
He didn't even bother using.
For 4 goals for the term. Oh, he passed it off. And Burton kicks the easiest of goals. He's got 3.
Now, Jago, what about when you know you're on? He didn't even bother with the right hand, Jason Portlesia. He thought, this is just coming into the left. Well, no, that's good. I don't need the other one.
You did say he was a natural footballer.
He's a genius. And then unselfish too. He had 2 players working back, Douglas and also Burton, and he just makes certain of the goal. I mean, he probably could have kicked it, but why not kick it to the bloke that's loose and runs into an open goal?
Seven goals to 1 this quarter, Adelaide.
Well, they're going to throw a few things around Kangaroos, try something, get Nathan Thompson into the game.
And the ball up. Griffin flies high. Harris. Handball over the top to Wells. And shrugs Knights. Has a bounce. Slips the pass to the pocket. Again, Adelaide with the numbers. Thumped down by Doughty to Bassett. Got a possession without taking possession. And the mark paid to Scott Thompson.
I know we're talking about Jason Portlesia a lot, but he's had a profound impact in this third term. He's had 9 possessions and kicked 3 goals in the third term alone, and that has really just about single-handedly put the game beyond the Kangaroos' reach.
Doughty. Bok. They've looked all right in defence, even without Rutten this week. The Crows. Bassett to Doughty. And Griffin flies and almost. Oh, nice tap out towards Jackie. And Edwards can't keep it in.
And I'm going to give him another plug. He's had 10 contested possessions, the most that anyone's had on the ground. And as a forward, that just shows his great ability to win the one-on-one contest.
Free kick in the contest, which wasn't a contest. It'll go to Griffin against Power. They have a push out. 89 to 35. They're at breaking point at the moment, the Kangaroos. Burton flies along the turf, can't bring the mark in, but gathers it almost again.
Numbers again to the Crows. Pressure, keeping the ball in their attacking 50.
Shirley to Portlesia. Back to Edwards.
Gee, that's a good kick on the left
It's a good kick. Edwards too far out to score, you would think. And they can smell blood, the Crows. Bok.
They'll take their time. Try and move it around and look for someone to lead into a little pocket of space in the attacking 50.
John Cock.
Very patient, the Crows.
Nathan Thompson told to stay out. 7 possessions, no goals for him tonight. Massey. So they're just keeping possession of the ball. McKay. And now he'll thump it long and high. Burton can't get near it. Sella! He does, but can't mark it. Little too high. Ferrito threads it through to Harris. McIntosh, Wells, nice movement, the Kangaroos. All about this kick. It bounces towards Lindsay Thomas. Doughty hit by the jumper. Umpires saw it.
Well, as soon as the ball got past the contest, Doughty knew he was beaten. Thomas was going to get goal side of him. He had to try and retard him because he was off balance. He was going to fall over. I guess he's saying, I'll rather you have a set shot from 45 metres out than turn around, pick it up and probably run into an open goal.
Good bit of play by the Kangas. The first time they actually moved the ball through the middle. They did it in the first quarter. Haven't been able to do it since. And if they can get themselves a couple of those with a bit of pace, put some respectability back on the scoreboard.
He's kicked one so far tonight. That's
you called it, Jason.
To the near side. He has been a little inaccurate over his career, Lindsay Thomas. He kicked 10 goals, 19 last year. And they really needed him to kick that. He's trying to make amends here, chasing this one down. Ball in. 89-35. Michael Dowdy with the big job.
The difficulty now for the Kangaroos is you've got the crowd against you. You know it's going to be a pretty tough night, but you've got to find somehow to fight it out and make sure there's respectability on the scoreboard and respect from your opposition, and not just lay down and say, well, it's not our night, and just go meekly through to the final siren.
Goodwin going nowhere. 20 possessions for him tonight after a slow start. Scott Thompson leading the possession winners for Adelaide with 21, and he dives in. It's going nowhere. Another ball up. 2 minutes from three-quarter time.
24 scoring shots to 10. It really has been one-sided after the Kangaroos got the first couple of goals of the match.
Adam Simpson got it out to lower. Adam Simpson's had 26 possessions. Wells to Harvey. Gets away from Vince. Chips it to Corey Jones. And Corey Jones can line up for a rare shot at goal.
There's a few players in the competition who can do that well-weighted kick. We saw Andy McLeod do it in the second quarter, but Boomer Harvey flat out going at full steam and just weighted that kick.
He doesn't kick long very often, but I reckon his little
targets.
stab pass and his little chip kick is probably the best in the competition, and he does it running at full pace.
Corey Jones, a Victorian who came over to South Australia because he wasn't drafted. Came over and played for Sturt under Phil Carman. Played some great footy under Phil. Fabulous Phil. We got him kicking a lot better than that. And that's why the Kangaroos picked him up.
You hurt yourself. You've had the last two set shots on goal. Relatively gettable goals, and you only get 1 point out of both of it. It's disappointing.
McKay wide. Van Berlo keeps it alive to Shirley. Chip kick, perfect. Bock can load up and go all the way here from 52. He passes instead, and Paul Pleasure again. This will be for his fourth goal of the term.
This is an extraordinary quarter of football, Jason Paul Pleasure, and let's not forget he gifted one to Brett Burton that he could have kicked himself as well. So he could theoretically be lining up for 5, but 4 and double figures possessions would be one heck of a return. He has just been amazing since half-time.
The crowd roar early. 4 for the quarter. He's owned it.
Well, that's the difference between the two sides. The Kangaroos have 2 set shots on goals. I mentioned it before, they only registered a point out of 2 of them, 1 out of bounds on the full. They go down the full length of the ground, and this boy, Nathan Bogg, he's just in some beautiful form. He's enjoying the run off the half-back line. Hits Jason Paul Pleasure, but he goes back and kicks through the ball. He's kicked 4, as you mentioned before, Jason. Could have kicked his 5th. He set up Brett Burton before. Just a fantastic player, and they're just all over him at the minute.
Four goals for the term for Jason Paul Pleasure. Only had 6 goals for the season coming in. He's now got 10, of course. Bassett to Bock. I think they're a chance to get one last one before the siren. Handball back to Bassett. Need a mark inside 50. Burton bumped out of it. And we'll get a ball in. 8 dangerous seconds left.
Well, it's going to be interesting, the three-quarter time speech from Dean Laley. It's going to be all about respectability, but play on their direct opponent, because they've got to try and fight this out, as you mentioned before, Jason.
Seconds tick by. McKay, centering kick, almost a mark. Siren. Three-quarter time at Amy Stadium. An 8-goal third term has put this game beyond North Melbourne, you would think. Jason Paul Pleasure, the star of the term, 4 goals for the quarter. Adelaide lead by the best part of 10 goals, 95-36. Burton's calling for a short. He's ignored. Paul Pleasure, the man, and genuine superstar grab. Kicks the goal of the night. Goodwin. Centering kick from his boot. Back to full forward. Burton can't get the run at it. Stays down. Crumbs it instead. And sends it through. Back inside 50 they come. Paul Pleasure spins around and kicks the second best goal of the night. A 4-goal third term from Jason Paul Pleasure and, well, a 10-goal margin for Adelaide at three-quarter time. 14-11-95 to North Melbourne 5-6-36. And Brett Burton, one of the stars of the show as well, 3 goals. And gentlemen, you just can't see North Melbourne getting up from here. The way it stands right now, it's going to be a very, very tough task. We'll talk more about that shortly, but Lee Colbert is downstairs and he has Ben Hart.
Ben, 6 goals that quarter, a pretty slick quarter by the Crows.
Yeah, it was great. I think, it was great to have Jason Paul Pleasure up there. His skills with this wet weather doesn't bother him. So, he had a great quarter.
Speaking of Jason, does he remind you of a number 3 back in the 90s, Darren Jarman?
Yeah, he's got some pretty good skills. It amazed us even with his skills off the deck in wet weather like this. So maybe not quite as good yet, but he's pretty good.
Thanks for your time, Ben.
Well, Jacko, we remarked how inaccurate they were early. They kicked 1-8 in the first term. I think they were 3-10 at one stage. They've now kicked 11 goals won, including 8 straight in that third term.
Yeah, well, they've just been superior and just clean in the conditions. They've been a little bit dewy, but I mentioned before they just possessed a little bit more class than Kangaroos. Kangaroos are a good side. We know what they can always bring. But you mentioned late in that third quarter about respectability. And this is very unlike the Kangaroos to be blown out like this. So you just imagine that Dean Langley would have really marshalled his troops at three-quarter time and say, look, boys, I'll talk to you after the game and hope that it's a better performance.
Winning the quarter would be the first step.
That's the first step, yeah.
95-36 to start this final term at Amy Stadium. Full house in, and they've enjoyed every minute of it so far. McLeod sends it inside 50, and almost it is a hold. And it's Goodwin's free.
Frito went back thinking it was his free kick. He can't believe it.
They look like they're both in this, Jason.
Well,
this is the one.
He hasn't got the arms around him at all.
He's got that one wrong.
That's a poor. They've been very good tonight, the umpires.
We give him a plug.
But he actually said you can't have the arms around him, and at no stage did he have the 2 arms around Simon Goodwin. Very unlucky, Michael Frito.
Goodwin has 2 goals won so far tonight. From 49, there's the roar. He has 3.
Well, that's about the worst thing could have happened for the Kangaroos.
And it's just unjustified for him at that time. But, well, the Crows, they share the workload. Andy McLeod's only had the 14 possession. Hasn't had a big night. It was always all the 15 possessions. Always threatening. But so we see that free kick there.
They're both trying to push each other out of the contest.
That's the one that I'm concerned about the AFL. You still got to let the contest be 2 big blokes or even 2 midfielders going at each other. There's going to be arms. There's going to be context. You've got to let it go sometimes.
65-point margin now. It's blown out 101-36. 41,898 here. Barely a spare seat in the house. Simpson, Pratt, McIntosh, Rawlings. Pops it inside 50 in hope. Grant was down there, couldn't trap it. John Cock.
Good option.
And it doesn't roll out either. Bok. McLeod was waiting for it. He goes back. Just inside the line. John Cock to the open side to Bassett.
You've got numbers on the outer side now.
Look at the run.
Massey peels off. He's got it, and he's away. Dumps it long for Goodwin. Frito caught out of position again. Goodwin trapped it and then was in turn trapped. Edwards. He pokes it inside 50. Tippett comes hard and gets there.
Just beat their direct opponents with pace leading to the ball there. Pleasure, he was involved there as well, but Tippett leading in front, which is good. Just, both had a piece. Well,
he got rid of Paul Pleasure on the way through.
He's a big, strong boy, Kurt Tippett. He has a good body to go with his height. He's going to create headaches for many a defender and ruckman for many years to come.
And he seems a smart type with bags of tricks.
Yep.
that he can use that to his advantage with the interpretation of the rules, which certainly favours the forward line players.
It's game number 7 for Kurt Tippett. That kick not so good, and
of course he may need to develop his kicking, Dwayne.
Yeah. His kicking has been reasonably good this year. He won't be happy with that, obviously, but it's his second year on the list. Picked 32 back in 2006. Talked already about his basketball heritage. He was a basketballer on the Gold Coast before took up football, and football's the winner. Scott Thompson caught by McLeod, got it away just in time. Rawlings, Harding, Shirley wrapped him up. Harvey sweeps it wide, lower. Wells, he can go all the way from 52. No one came at him, so he sets sail.
Indecision,
misses.
But
Adelaide.
At least they took a risk, the Kangaroos. They ran it from half-back. They were in a bit of traffic, but they drew players and gave the hand pass over the top. That's what they've got to do to create some run.
John Cox saying, come at me, give me some space. Doughty, all the way back. Bach.
We're really looking at a side in complete control tonight, the Adelaide Crows, in every facet of the game.
Knights wide. Bassett. No one on the open side, so they don't give it up. Maintain possession. Bump ball, you heard. Knights wide. They just make sure that they maintain possession and don't turn it over. McKay. All the way back to Bach. Now they'll try and find someone free on the open side. Bach bounces on. He's got Richard Douglas short. Oh, taken by Harding superbly. The 1-2 at Grant was on. Handball inside 50. Nathan Thompson. Well, that's his night in a nutshell.
Gee, that's a good tackle. That is a great tackle, Nathan Bassett. Oh, you got to feel for Nathan Thompson. What could he do? As soon as he got it, he was collared and had no support.
Well, Shannon Grant shouldn't have probably handballed to him, and that was the effect because he had no right foot. Should have just kicked it to the square. There was a North player running to the goal mouth. Better to go that option than put your direct teammate under that pressure.
Bach got it from Bassett. Thumps it long. Goodwin and Griffin down there. Ferrito knocked it down to Simpson. McIntosh. High kick. Nathan Thompson down there again. Bassett with him. And the mark has been paid. He threw him away. Crowd not happy. Finally, Nathan Thompson gets a break.
Jason, I reckon on this occasion, the arm was around the waist as opposed to the other one on Simon Goodwin. He's actually thrown him out. Wow. That's the interpretation of the rule that was explained down at the other end.
I wonder if a defender did that to a forward. Would it be play on and a mark?
I wonder if he'd pay it. His scores were level with a minute to go. But 102 to 37, it matters not. And Nathan Bassett sees one sail over his head for the first time tonight.
Well, he hasn't had too many one-on-one opportunities, Nathan Thompson, but he's done that well. If you're allowed to get away with it, then all well and good. He was just too strong for Nathan Bassett.
Jason, I like that. I like that two key opponents. You've got to let it go sometimes because he's beat him on strength, sheer strength. Bassett's no pushover either. Nathan Thompson, one of the stronger ones in the competition. Let's leave that in our game. Let's two big blokes go at it in front of goal and best man wins. Or strongest man wins.
First goal for Nathan Thompson. He's kicked some big bags in his career, Nathan Thompson, but never here and never anywhere against Adelaide. Toe poke off the deck. Seller dragged down by Petrie. Will get a ball up.
Good job, Drew. Come out there, Daniel.
Some encouragement from umpire Chamberlain. Good job, Drew. Plays in the tackle.
Adam Simpson is up to 28 possessions for the Kangaroos. You can't deny his work rate. He's fantastic week after week, but unfortunately tonight they've just had no impact on the game.
Handball out. Finds McIntosh from the hand of Scott Thompson. Rawlings. Harvey. Lower. Now Petrie's peeled off. Harvey from 45. He sends it toward goal, and it gets there. Wallpaper over cracks, perhaps.
Oh, just good running from Brent Harvey. You know you're always going to get that from him from the half-back line here. He contested that ball, kept running down, and good to see Drew Petrie give it to the little bloke because he's the runner, he's the finisher. And good finish, back-to-back goals. You know, a bit of the sting might have go out of the game, but you mentioned before respectability. They need to keep fighting this game out and win the quarter.
Two goals from 18 possessions for Brent Harvey. 102 to 49. Time for the Kangaroos to make the scoreboard look a little more attractive. Scott Thompson got it up to McLeod. Petrie cuts it off, sends it wide. Harding's lurking to his own advantage. And now long inside 50. Campbell's down there, had to fly. Pushed out of the contest, and Nathan Thompson screaming that the kick was in the wrong direction. Will get a ball in. Massive players around this ball in as well.
Don't block him!
And that's why the umpires are barking instructions to keep it open. Wells into the back of Wells from Andrew McLeod. Get the free and a chance for 3 goals in a row to North Melbourne.
And that's important. They've got a little run on. Now, whether the work rate of the Crows has dropped off or not, the Kangaroos have got to take advantage of this. They've got to be thinking about... I know they've got to draw to their name, but they've also got to be thinking about percentage. You don't want to just succumb when the night's not going right for you. Kick as many goals as you can. Get some sort of momentum to take into next week, even if it's one good quarter of football.
16 possession night for Daniel Wells. And his first goal of the night. 3 goals in a row for the Roos.
Well, it was great work by Daniel Wells from the back of the contest here. Follows and tracks the ball, wins himself. Nearly got a free kick there by the tug of the jumper, but that's the commitment that you need over the football. He's only had the 15 possessions, one way, so that's still okay, but what about just his work rate?
What about the efficiency of his disposals, though, Jacko? Down at 56%. Well, that's very unusual for Daniel Wells.
He has to work at that, and he has to work at his work rate, because he is a clean ball getter.
Adelaide Crows could have had Daniel Wells. He's the player that North Melbourne got picked to, which they received from Adelaide through the Wayne Carey swap. Ball up in the middle. Palm down to Harvey. Sends it inside 50. Kangaroos all of a sudden have a spark. Grant, slick, but too slick for Harding. Harris left it behind. Van Berlo tried to shuffle it out. Corey Jones off the deck. Shannon Grant wide. They're behind.
Oh, just good desperation footy, just keeping the ball alive in the forward line, something that the Crows are very good for the entire of this game, and you just got to keep doing that as forward line players. Keep that pressure on the defenders.
Doughty got it from John Cock. Scott Thompson. Possession number 23 for him. Jackie. Hunted down, got the handball up just in time. Stevens. Shirley. Thompson. Jackie. Back to Shirley. And a long thump in the Burton direction. Just edged under it by Watt at the right time. McKay left it behind. Harvey to Power. Open forward line. Crows getting numbers though. Doughty. Ran hard, cut it off, left his man. Van Berlo to Shirley. Loops it over the top. Goodwin looks up. Plenty of options. Edwards will do.
Gee, Graham John Cock burst down the right-hand flank, but it was a better decision by Goodwin to keep it in the corridor and find Tyson Edwards directly in front. John Cock certainly would have been found inside the attacking 50 on a 45-degree angle, but if you can keep it in the corridor, you do, and just go back and have a set shot and try and break the little run of momentum that the Kangaroos have built in this 4th term.
He still wasn't happy, John Cock. He
worked hard for it.
He ran the furthest and felt he should have still got it.
And a great campaign of Tyson Edwards. Missed just 4 games in the past 8 seasons for Adelaide. And it's missed across the face. 103 to 56. Led by as much as 65 points in the final term. The Adelaide Crows. Pratt entrusted with the kick in. 13 minutes gone. Hale and Simpson flies. Harris. Thompson got it out to Harris. Power. Jackie's tackle. Nice wrap up.
They've been good all night, the Adelaide Crows, at applying pressure to the man with the ball. Their tackling's been terrific.
Brad Symes withdrew from the Adelaide team just over a day ago. He was named initially in the team and withdrew, and that's why Jaron Jackie, who wasn't on the initial team sheet, got a game tonight. Pratt. Thomas. Jones. Thumps it back to the midfield, but Griffin's lurking. Bumped off it. Knights. And now Doughty can reload.
Well, tough night for Corey Jones. Just the 9 possessions, yet to kick a goal.
Paul Pleasure course short. Good pass.
He just doesn't fall over at all, Paul Pleasure.
Sends it wide towards Burton. He set up a couple for Burton tonight. Gets a fly. Can't mark. Jackie, he kicked his first goal on AFL footy earlier tonight. Has a snap around the body to full forward. Off hands. Behind.
Just the presence that Brett Burton has. He'll always attract 2 players to the contest, and that time allowed Jackie to run forward of the contest after it spilt down. But just an awesome player, Brett Burton.
Pratt short to Power. After the week's rest, the Adelaide Crows will play, and that's out of bounds on the full, play Melbourne here at Amy in a couple of weeks. So things looking up for Adelaide at the moment. Burton flies. Can bring it down. Scott Thompson.
Ooh,
almost.
Just need a long arm that time, Paul Pleasure.
Thomas. Back again. Pratt. What about going straight down the middle? Heads wide to Wells. Good grab.
Don't grab him. Hold the mark.
Lee Brown. 15 minutes gone. Final term. Harris. Harding. Petrie. Short. Nathan Thompson. He tries to manufacture something and just hasn't quite been his night. Nathan Thompson, he's coming off a whole season off, of course. Missed all of 2007 with that knee injury.
It was a good chase, though, from Michael Doughty. He was never going to get to Petrie, but he made sure that he forced Petrie to kick with his left foot, and that's why he missed the target.
Bassett. And they maintain possession again. Massey. Van Berlo. Took dish off the Bok. Taking them on. Knights. Back to Bok. Back to Knights. Tucked up against the boundary. Goodwin's got a couple to beat, and good fly and good mark from Lindsay Thomas. Sting has gone out of this contest, if you can call it that right now. Jackie. Work by Smith. Knocked it down. McIntosh gave it up. Powers kick. Okay. Watt. Petrie. Campbell. He can go all the way from 55. Sends it long. Goal square is a mark. Shannon Grant. It'll be on a tough angle though. Marked it just outside the goal square.
He is the left footer, so he only needs to get around a metre or two, and he should be able to hook it over the shoulder. Well, you can see a couple of Crows. This is Smart coming and standing to the side, and they do allow you to get very close. Well, the umpire keeping a bit of space here.
Has kicked one goal. He sold the dummy to one. Weaved around the other. Kicks his second.
Well, I think even though they had the numbers there, in the end, the Adelaide Crows let themselves down, because if they both winked at Shannon Grant when he played on, the second one would have got him after he ran around the first one. But once one went in to smother, the other just hung back, and that allowed Grant to kick the goal. It's been a tough night for him. Shannon Grant just had the 13 possessions, now has a couple of goals to his name. But from a tight end, you see the second player there didn't go in quick enough. Otherwise, he would have been all over Shannon Grant.
Two goals now for Shannon Grant. Lee Colbert.
An injury update, boys, on David Hale. He actually copped a nice knock to the hip as in a ruck contest, and you'll see it right here from beauty, actually. So he'll actually really look forward to the week off next week, well, boys.
Friendly fire from Adam Simpson.
Nothing worse than that for a ruckman when the third man up gets you from your own team. Harris. And holding the ball was trapped between his knees. Bernie Vince comes up with the free. And he thumps it. Paul Pleasure's there. Tippett. Paul Pleasure hit him in the scone. Got Thompson. Edwards.
Right.
And Bernie Vince. They're just like flies to wanton boys at the moment, the Kangaroos. They're pulling their wings off at the moment, the Crows players. Enjoying this as the crowd is.
The one thing that they do, when they get that ball wide, Jason, they're very disciplined to look inside, go to the top of the square. But to do that, you've got to have numbers running in there, presenting themselves, and they've been very disciplined to do that.
Get his name on the score sheet. Bernie Vince from 50. Nice off the boot. And it was missed. Well, very inaccurate early. They have just joined us, the Adelaide Crows. Well, 1 goal, 8 at quarter time, and that was when scores were level at quarter time. But it's really been all Adelaide since then. Lindsay Thomas. 105 to 62. I mentioned the Adelaide Crows have Melbourne here at Amy Stadium in a couple of weeks after the week off. North Melbourne have the West Coast Eagles on the Gold Coast in 2 weeks' time. To the wing. Little toe poke from Campbell. And it's out of play. We'll get a ball in one of those last remaining North Melbourne Gold Coast games. Ticking to time on now, final term. Doughty, gang tackled. Going nowhere, no prior opportunity, ball up.
Plenty of their good players getting the ball tonight, the Crows. Thompson with 25, Bock 24, Knight 24, Edwards 24, Goodwin 23. So certainly had their share of possession.
And another one for Tyson Edwards. Along the line, and spectacular kick and mark. McKay to Goodwin. It's called long. It's a one-on-one goal square. Down there, Tippett almost. Gee, had a hand on it. Pratt. Oh, he missed it completely. Ferrito somehow kicked it off the deck straight to Adam Simpson. It was a set play. Pratt was aware of it. That's why he left it. Wells.
Got to switch it. Numbers this side of the ground.
Harding. Lindsay Thomas. Bouncing ball. It's the kick away just in time and precise. Rawlings. Lead short from Campbell. Left it behind. John Cock really left him to mark it.
He did, and I reckon he backed him that he might slip through the fingers.
Yep. Rather than make the error of pushing him or slapping an arm.
Or overcommitting.
Yep. Clever player, Graham John Cock. Goodwin couldn't pick that up. Rawlings dead, but dumped. McKay. Vince. Knights. Just in time. Harding. Attacks it, left it behind. Played for the free and got it. Play onto advantage. Josh Smith. And now Daniel Pratt. Extend it inside 50 if he wants to. Top of the square. Nathan Thompson. Good fist again. Not only good fist, but great back up from Bock. To McKay. Now Edwards.
For pleasure.
Oh, he is on his own. And no free. Salah. His chance for a first.
Gee, I liked his attack on the ball, Paul Pleasure. Instead of waiting for it, he had to make the contest because the two Kangaroos players were closing him down. So he wasn't going to get an easy mark over the top, but he hit the contest here for young Stella to move forward. He just didn't finish off. But good pressure. It's just very hard for a defender to combat that.
Played 22 minutes final term. Both teams just hoping for no injuries now. We know who's got the 4 points. Adelaide 106, North Melbourne 62. Kick down the wing. Corey Jones, that's been the tale of his night as well. Can't mark it. Lower. Harvey. Wells. And Petrie. He was away of it sat for him, and it was over his head. Thomas. Spears the pass.
Beautiful
Nathan
pass.
Thompson.
Had the two options, Lindsay Thomas. He also had Drew Petrie, who'd pushed forward into space. Would have marked uncontested, but he saw Thompson leading directly into his vision and just drilled it in. Nothing Stevens could do about that one.
This is virtually where he kicked his first goal from. Nathan Thompson. in this final term.
And when you have a dirty night, you just need, if you can find a way to salvage 2 or 3 goals, you make something of it. And just a couple of straight kicks.
And that is dead straight. Umpire did not move. He's got 2.
There's nothing worse as a forward than being shut out. When you end up goalless, it's bad enough having your colours lowered and you get touched up by an opponent. But when you don't actually register a goal, it leaves a real hollow feeling, even more so. It's like rubbing salt into the wounds. But when you can just salvage a couple, it leaves you with something. It says, OK, I did kick a couple on him. Next time, I'll kick a couple more on him.
And young Lindsay Thomas, he's had the 17 possessions, so he's kept trying off this wing, threatening, moving the ball through the corridor, so he can build on that.
18 goals for the season now, Nathan Thompson. 2 goals in this final term.
We talk about the great comeback from a knee injury of Daniel Bradshaw. This bloke hasn't been bad either, and he is a very, very big bloke, putting a lot of pressure through that knee. He's been terrific.
Harvey to Pratt to Rawlings. Sends it wide. Shannon Grant, bouncing ball. Oh, he threw that to Adam Simpson. And he pokes it to the pocket towards Corey Jones.
Just want to talk about Jonathan Griffin. He's had 28 hit-outs, had a career high of 35 last week, and been amongst the possessions himself. He's moved around the ground 12, and Hale and McIntosh have had 27 between them. So for a young player, he's certainly holding his own in the ruck contest.
And he palms this down on cue.
It's got to be deliberate.
So Scott Thompson's kick finds the line, and it is. Gee.
Well, that's the only one direction he went. So I don't mind that rule, Dwayne, if it's consistent.
So that was tough, though. Power thumps it back inside 50. Griffin, the man you spoke of, can't mark this, but lays the tackle.
Tell me this, what are the options? You can't kick it to the opposition, so you kick to space. Now, it might rest on the bounce. Does it bounce out, straight, or back infield?
Well, it depends how direct it is, I guess, towards the boundary line. If it's a long...
It's a 50-metre bomb. It's a bit stiff.
That should be your out. If you kick it 50 metres and it goes out, well, that's your good luck.
Yeah.
Especially if it's 50 metres in a direct route to your goal rather than sideways to the boundary. Tucked up against the boundary. No one really going anywhere. Bassett dives in.
I think the other thing about that kick too, Dwayne, it was a big high kick. I mean, the intent is there when they spear it low and they know they want it to have momentum going forward, rolling end over end and find the boundary line. That was a big bomb, a big high bomb that could have bounced in any direction.
From the ball up. Playing out the last couple of minutes now. McLeod off the deck. Harvey to his own advantage and then to Power. Simpson. Power. Back to full forward. And here's your man, Griffin, from your neck of the woods as well. East Fremantle, Jacko?
Yes, big fella from the East Fremantle zone. Very strong zone, the East Fremantle district. But certainly enjoying his time here at the Crows and much improved player.
Wells to Harvey. As he was warehoused here in South Australia for a while. Jonathan Griffin as the pack flies. Dowdy, Jonathan Goodwin gives it to Bock with the outside of the foot. Stevens
has to come back because there's no one down the wing.
Kicks it around towards McKay. Was it 15? There's your answer. Play on. Crowd a little restless. All those people here with tape measures. Van Berlo, Bock, Jackie if he can get there. Watt, Jackie, boundary line. Boundary line wins inside 2 minutes from time. 106-68. And it'll be a comprehensive victory to the Adelaide Crows tonight. 38 points their margin as it stands now. Simpson has tried all night. 31 possessions for him. Doesn't get a 32nd. Dragged down. The captain's given it everything he's got. Griffin, another nice palm. Harris tries to shoot it up to Wells. Toe poke. Power dives in, but rakes it in. Forced to get it out. Edwards keeps his feet. McLeod had to shoot the handle back to advantage, but gave it to Wells. Who can go the whole way here.
Good vision.
And chips it instead to Corey Jones.
That's important, that one. Sometimes when you're running full steam ahead and you're not actually looking at what's in front of you, but he sized it up, had a quick look in the forward line, and you reward your forwards for creating space and leading. So good play on that time by Daniel Wells, as opposed to blazing away and hoping that you might get a goal outside 50.
Just 2 points to the name of Corey Jones. 9 possessions, 4 kicks, 5 hand passes. He'd dearly love a goal just to add to his tally.
This has had a reasonably good season. Corey Jones is 7 goals against Richmond in round 2, the highlight. And he gets himself a consolation prize here. First of the night.
Well, Jason, Daniel Wells needs to bring that more to his game, where he breaks the lines, because of the modern game, it's about leg speed, and he certainly has got it. He's got the tricks. He just sized it up, looked up, could have gone the distance, but found Corey Jones in there, which was a nice way to kick.
I don't think Nathan Bassett will be too happy either. He had to come and put pressure on Wells, and it got chipped over to the man that he's playing on at the moment in Corey Jones.
Well, they have been able to cut the margin in half. North Melbourne, they did trail by 65 points. It now stands at 32 in the shadows of full time. Maybe one last chance for an Adelaide score here. Tippett has had a good night. Ferrito steals it from him. Handball's out. Vince, body on the line. Tippett gets it back. Van Berlo. For Pleasure, whose 4-goal third term set the win up. The 1-2 with Van Berlo. Poor Pleasure finds Thompson, and the last kick of the night will go to Griffin.
He'd been standing there for a long time. He worked forward. He pushed forward off the ball once they won possession. Found a hole at the top of the corridor, and it was just a matter of the players looking up ahead, and Scott Thompson did that.
.32-point margin as it stands, with this kick to come to make it 33 or 38. And to give himself a reward, just turned 22 years of age, Jonathan Griffin.
Too big a build-up.
Yeah, it was. But a genuine finals-like performance from Neil Craig's men tonight. 33-point win after scores were level at quarter time. They were inaccurate in the opening term with 1 goal 8, but then they put the foot down and they clicked into another gear. Jason Porpleasure's 4-goal third term, as we mentioned, set it up. One of the best performances of his career. That was Ed Lower having a chat, former Norwood boy back home. There are a number of former South Australian boys in this Kangaroo lineup, but they'll be going home a little disappointed. And the star of the night is with Lee Coleman.
He is indeed, Jason. A pretty impressive display tonight by the boys.
Yeah, it was a fantastic win, really. North Melbourne, they're a quality side, and to win by that margin is fantastic.
Mate, your third quarter, you had it on a string, 11 touches, couple of goals, and you haven't given them away.
Yeah, it's well, we sort of got a bit more ball out of the middle, and gave us a few more opportunities down forward, and it was good to get on the end of a couple.
You haven't had it all your own way. You've sort of battled through some injuries and hamstrings and knees last year, but it must be great to have a sound body now.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Probably, hopefully that's the end of those, and can string a few games together now, so it's good.
Mate, I reckon you should keep your phone on, because the Dream Team boys, they might need a small crumbing forward next week, so just keep your phone on over the weekend.
All right, thank you.
Good on you. Good on, mate.
Former Kangaroo superstar Lee Colbert with the star of the show tonight, Jason Porpleasure. There's Brett Burton on screen about to send the ball into the crowd. Andrew McLeod, who will captain the Dream Team All-Stars next week, so he won't be getting a week off. Kangaroo players who don't get selected in that game will get a week off before they face the West Coast Eagles on the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks. Graham Johncock also had a good night tonight. And Nathan Bock, no Ben Rutten tonight, but Bock and Bassett, and probably one of the unheralded players for the Adelaide Crows as well. Scott Stevens stayed solid in defence tonight in the absence of Ben Rutten. And there is Jonathan Griffin. That's his 23rd game.
And 34 hitouts, Dwayne, so just getting better as the weeks go by. He's having just that maturity, but his aerial contests, his body work is certainly coming of age.
There is the king. One retired last year, Mark Rashudo, but he is the new king, Simon Goodwin, captain of this outfit.
25 possessions and 3
happy.
goals, and you wouldn't say he dominated tonight, but that's a fantastic statistical return.
And Jason, he only had 2 at quarter time. Yep. He was trenched in the forward pocket, obviously a little bit cold, and thought he'd get himself in the midfield, and then he turned it on and kicked a couple of goals.
Let's go down to the birthday boy. He's with Lee Colbert.
He's a birthday boy tomorrow, we're told, but mate, it was a good win. A real hard-fought one, though.
Yeah, it was. Look, the Kangaroos are a tough side. You know, we know their spirit, and they always come out, and they're really good at contested ball. So we knew we were up for a game tonight, and to the boys' credit, we got over the line. Unfortunately, probably didn't finish off like we would have, but still got over the win.
Now the wing's been clipped, mate. How is it?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. Just a little corky. So just that funny bone goes a bit funny for a little bit, and then comes good again. So it's all right.
We'll see you next week in the Dream Team game.
Oh, look, I have to wait to see what the selectors do, but definitely be putting my hand up and looking forward to it.
Oh, we'll get you in the side. No worry. Good on you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Burton.
You gotta love that, Dwayne. The funny bone goes a bit funny.
Of course, he'll be coached by the man from across town, Mark Williams, if he plays in that Dream Team game. Brett Burton is from Whyalla, or Rupner, to be more precise. There's Jaron Jackie, who played just his 2nd game of AFL footy tonight, kicked his 1st goal in AFL football. Subiaco boy. And Simon Goodwin is marshalling the troops. I'll go in and sing the song shortly, but that was a big win with the week off coming up. 4th spot on the ladder was up for grabs, and the Adelaide Crows, after scores were level at quarter time, winning tonight by 33 points. 15-17, 107 to 11-8, 74.
Winners are Grinners, the Adelaide Crows getting the job done. 33 points, the final margin. Some of their premiership heroes from 98 joining in the song. 107 to 74, Paul Pleasure with 4, all in the 3rd quarter. Burton also with 3, Grant and Harding 2 apiece for the Kangaroos. Scott Thompson leading the way with 28, and Adam Simpson, as he always does, finding plenty of the ball, 31 possessions for the Kangaroos. It was a match that the Crows, after quarter time, really did control. Jaggo, we saw them put on a very impressive display, but when the game needed something, needed someone to impose themselves, we all just sat back and marvelled at Jason Paul-Pleasure's 3rd term. He was unstoppable.
I hope he gets a game next week in the Dream Team game, because he was just fantastic. What I like about him, Jason, first and foremost, he never goes to ground, and his ability for a small bloke, just that contest there, he was able to absorb the physical presence, opportunist goal there. So he just gives so much. He was involved in 5 goals, kicked 4 himself, gave 1 off, but just brushed a couple of opponents. And they're no small players either, so very good player.
He certainly did turn it on. He showed all the skills, left and right foot, beautifully balanced. He gave them away. He actually gave a couple away. Goodwin ran into an open goal from the hand pass there. He had another mark from 40 out, which he passed to Burton in the square. But he had a number of opponents, and he certainly gave them a hard time. It was one-way traffic. Plenty of ball coming forward. Bock here running from deep down, and this is just Paul Pleasure on a regulation lead. He did it all, but it was the 3rd quarter where the Adelaide Crows really took a stranglehold on this match. 8 straight goals after early inaccuracy. They kicked 3 goals, 10 early on, but the 3rd quarter they found their range, and they just kicked them from everywhere.
Well, we mentioned the Kangaroos had to get off to a good start and kick the first goal, put scoreboard pressure, but it was the Crows, 4 unanswered goals very quickly, and that man Paul Pleasure, as we mentioned. Brett Burton always threatening, always around the packs, and good mark there as the ball just came in at will, and just the lack of pressure. Looking inside, Simon Goodwin, he only had the 2 possessions at quarter time, finished off with 25 and 3 goals himself, so they're always in it. But if you don't mind, I'll just stick the one arm out there. And that's, I guess, when you're involved in 6 goals in the third quarter, you know you're on song. So they're just a very good side. A bit underrated at the start of the year, and some people would have thought that they didn't know where the Adelaide Crows are going to be, but I think they themselves know exactly where they're heading.
And they've got a bloke up forward that does pretty well too, Brett Burton. He didn't dominate tonight. He didn't take the big marks, and sometimes he had to travel further afield to find the ball. He had a couple of opponents. He had Michael Frito early, who was stuck to his guns, and then they swapped it over and had Shannon Watt on him. He copped a couple of knocks. He got the dead arm here, the funny bone that went funny, he said. But how did you see his performance?
He's a player with a great work rate, and when you've got that as a key forward, unlike the Kangaroos with Thompson and Jones, they weren't able to exert themselves into the game. And sometimes when you're down, and you mentioned he didn't have the greatest impact, but he worked himself into the game, ended up with 20-odd possessions, kicks 3 goals, creates a few, but always attracts 2 defenders. And it's very hard. It opens up the forward line for other players. So he's one of the premier players in the competition, I believe, and I think he will get an opening next week in the Dream Team. I'd love to see him at the MCG.
What do we make of the Kangaroos? They were 3-2-1 coming into this, 3.5 wins, and they were in 6th position. It was a big challenge for them. They don't have a great record against the Kangaroos. They got towed up most of the night. They did kick 6 goals to 1 in the final quarter, but we call it junk time, but you still have to kick the goals, and they did that. They at least finished strongly.
Unlike the Kangaroos, to have that spell in the middle of the game where they just weren't competitive, they were losing the contested possessions, and they just had a little bit more class, the Crows. But be disappointed, Dean Lady has certainly put the word on them during the week.
How do you rate them? Are they?
I still think they're a highly competitive side. I still think they'll finish in the 8.
Okay, let's check the final scores from the Telstra Dome. A big one between St Kilda and Richmond, and did it go down to the wire? St Kilda getting home by 3 points. And have a look at the goal kickers. Big Richo with 5 for the Tigers. And Stephen Milne, a lazy 7 for the Saints.
Good to see him back amongst the goals, because he was pretty poor here against the Crows, against Port Adelaide here last week. But and Del Sando, very quiet as well. Good to see him amongst the possessions.
Absolutely. Nathan Brown picking up 29 for the Tigers as well. So the Saints, they go to 4-3, and I think the jury's still a little bit out on them. We're not quite sure which way they're going to go. The Tigers... competitive, but still not quite getting the wins on the board that they might deserve. But here at Amy Stadium, the Adelaide Crows are going along very nicely. They now get to 5-2. They started in 4th position. They consolidate their spot in the top 4 with a 33-point victory over the Kangaroos. For now, from Amy Stadium, it's good night.